What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ, the travel wishing, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio, I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody. We made it.
Yeah, buddy.
It's here. And it's a party one.
It really is.
Yeah.
I was going to say, well, thank you.
It's going to be warm.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the weekend. This is going to be the nicest weekend I think so far we've had this year.
Weather-wise, yeah.
I'm stoked.
I think you might be correct.
A lot of outsidey stuff with the kids, you know?
Yeah. It's going to be nice and might be a little, well, actually even, they're kind of 10 to 15 on Sunday, so not so bad. I was worried about the winds on Sunday, but 10 to 15. Supposed to be like 90 though, so.
It's been a long, cooped-up winter, so we've really been trying our best to take advantage of all the sunny bits that we can.
Yeah.
Getting the kids out, getting them. You know, the parks have actually been really full lately, which has been kind of nice. You know, a lot of kids my kids are really social. Like, they'll just run out and just be like, hey, we're instant friends with that kid and those kids. And
I think kids are like that.
They just find them in the wild, and it just think about it. The best friend you ever had in like your entire life, I'm going to assume it has something to do with your birthdays being very close together.
I have friends like that. But I've lost touch with them, so I wouldn't know if I'd say they were best friends at the time.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. My best friend in high school, who I don't talk to anymore for reasons that we won't get into, but his birthday is the day after mine, and the joke was always, well, it's something you're going to understand when you're my age, and he'd say, so tomorrow. So yeah, that was like the crux of our friendship, was the closeness of our birthdays.
Okay, yeah, I did have a friend where, and it was actually him and his father.
Yeah.
My birthday's on the 25th of April. My friend's was on the 24th of April, and his father's was the 26th of April.
Nice. So it's a big party block.
Yeah.
Around the end of April.
Yes, exactly. So, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I get that. But I think my best friend, like the friend to this day, we were friends since middle school. My buddy Jay. He's born September, so it's not related there. But I would say we've been friends since middle school, and we still stay in touch and talk. But
it's always
and hang out.
It's always like something silly like that. It's like, well, we got along because we both had a shared interest in like Pogs or something, you know. Like, we just, and that lasted for 10 years, long after the fad or the hobby itself was. Yeah. Like, I still have friends this is back when I was into wrestling the first time, that like I've completely lost touch with, that all of a sudden, now that I'm into wrestling again, 2 decades later, I've found in the wild. And I'm like, you still watch wrestling? I'm like, yup. And so we kind of like reconnected over it, you know?
Do you want to do karate in the basement? Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like, as an adult, you can kind of be like, oh, I get to, reunite, rekindle old friendships and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
My friend that we shared near birthdays with, that was because I lived in a neighborhood that wasn't really built yet. Like we were like one of the first people to move into a neighborhood that was being developed. Right. So like their house was one of the early ones too. So literally we were like one of the few kids in the neighborhood, and so it was almost we just found each other because we were the only kids around the same age.
The proximity.
Yeah.
And I've had lots of friends like that. It was just like literally I've I was in school, and the two kids that I knew in the neighborhood that were in school with me, I was like, well, I guess we're friends now.
Yeah.
One of them, I never liked the guy. I never liked this dude. And I can say his name. His name was Seth McCabe. Still to this day, I can't stand this kid. He was a jerk. He was a terrible person. But thanks to proximity, I was associated with him.
Yeah.
And he became, Sean's little buddy Seth.
Yeah. I get that.
I might be wrong, but find me a Seth. Find me a good Seth. Besides McFarlane, I don't know many.
I knew one Seth growing up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
He was odd. Like, he was weird, but not bad.
Right.
Like, I didn't want to necessarily hang out with him, but not because he was a bad person. We didn't share any common interests. He's weird, man.
I've also, and this is probably going to catch me some flack, but the views expressed by Sean Smalls do not reflect those of Pecos Valley Broadcasting and staff or management. I almost exclusively have never met a Brandon that I liked. And I know there's a few. But like every Brandon that I've ever associated with friends-wise has just done me dirty.
Oh, dang. Man.
And there's specifically
all
two.
those Seths and Brandons
Two I know. Come at me, Seth and Brandons. Come at me, yo. I got to tell you, I know you have stuff to get to, but I got to tell you, maybe next hour, about apparently I have a doppelganger in this town.
Oh, yeah?
I learned this last night as I was walking into the Dollar General.
And Saul said doppelganger?
No, I didn't see them, but I was seen by someone, and it was weird.
And they thought, well, maybe, do you know this person?
No idea.
Maybe this person's not good at identifying other people.
That's also could possibly be true.
Maybe this person does this 100 times a day and looks nothing like the other people.
It was this person's teacher from like when they were in school. And I guess we'll just get into it. I was going into Dollar General last night up north, and I got out of my car and she goes, "Are you Mike?" And I said, "No, I'm Sean," because I thought she recognized me from the show.
A radio thing.
I said, "No, I'm Sean. I'm the other guy." And she's like, "Are you?" So she explained that she taught a kid named Michael, and I guess that I looked like him. So I did not know I have a doppelganger.
Oh, so you look like a student.
Yeah, well, I guess he's a man now.
I know, but maybe a former student of hers. Okay. Yes. Well, see.
I hope he's a man.
This person was seeing you through a young man's eyes. You know what I mean? As a child.
Right.
So maybe
what she assumed Michael would grow up to look like.
Yeah, maybe Michael don't look like you.
That could be true too. But hey, Michael, if you're out there, you're a good looking fella.
Michael. Time to use Turbo Boost.
What do I know? I got another person's teeth in my side of my head. So what do I know?
I know what I got to do before we do anything else. Thank the fine folks at McDonald's, because it is Friday, and as they do, provide us with delicious breakfast treats. I've not nosed through the bag of McDonald's treats yet, but I have my tea.
I am halfway through a fantastic biscuit and gravy.
Oh, very good. Mm-hmm. So swing by any of your McDonald's, download the app, utilize it. There's exclusive deals all the way through the app. And as I said last week, or earlier this week, actually, March 31st, they're bringing back for a limited time the Szechuan sauce. Be look for it for that date. Special gold label, collector's edition, the whole nine. Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious to see how this is going to go.
Yeah.
I'll
and I want to get one so I can try it. So I say I've had Szechuan sauce.
It is. I'm not going to lie. It is delicious. So it is a good sauce.
If you go on a quest on the 31st to procure one, procure me one that I can open.
I believe what we can do is
I'm going to be busy that day.
I'll make sure that we have Szechuan sauce on hand by the Friday after the 31st.
Cool. Yeah, because the 31st is my colonoscopy day.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So yeah, you'll have.
I got plans because I've already decided what I'm going to do. Like I got my surgery.
Don't say it now. We're talking about McDonald's today.
Yes, we are.
Celebrate McDonald's with 3 locations in Roswell.
Yes.
I know your plan, Mike. We'll talk about it on Monday. Okay.
All right.
I know what your plan is.
Fair enough. I'm going to do that.
McDonald's has 3 locations in Roswell, and don't forget McHire.com, MCHire.com. They are always looking for folks at all their locations.
Well, if all I'm saying is if McDonald's had cordon bleu soup,
I know, dude. I get it, man.
I'd be there too.
We're the ones with the in. How come they don't listen? We've been pitching breakfast fish sandwich for what feels like a decade now.
Mm-hmm. So, anyway, big thank you to McDonald's. Swing on by. Go check out the new South Main McDonald's if you haven't been there to check it out. And a big thank you to them for hooking us up every single Friday here on the show.
Yes, sir.
All right, it is 7:15. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty nice for the weekend, and our daytime highs will be on a warming trend. Very warm on Sunday with high pressure parked in the Four Corners. Lots of sunshine today, and our afternoon high in the low 80s and not too windy. It'll be clear for the overnight hours. We'll drop to about 40, and then we're looking at mid 80s and sunshine on Saturday, upper 80s, and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 42 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity currently at 36%. Winds are out of the south, or excuse me, the west at 6 miles per hour. Sunny today, 83 for a high. Enjoy that. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 42. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. Mostly sunny for you Saturday. Highs in the upper 80s tomorrow, 87 officially. Winds will be light and variable out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 45. South winds 5 to 10. Sunday, 90. They're saying it's going to hit 90 under mostly sunny skies. West winds 5 to 10 early. Picking up, shifting out of the south, 10 to 15 for Sunday afternoon. Monday, sunny and 91. And looks like the term moisture enters the forecast Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night and into Wednesday as well. Wednesday as well, we're looking at 20-30% chances of rain Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. We'll see how that shapes up. Let me give you the rundown. Before we take our break here in just a few minutes, we'll do that. And then on the other side, we're going to have the folks, I know Louis Mestis is here from American Legion Post 28. Next Tuesday, they've got their big veterans event they want to invite the public out to, and so we'll talk about that. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:25 or so, Congresswoman Yvette Harrell's going to be calling in for about 10 minutes or so. I think we got her to about 8:40, and then she's off to her next thing. But we'll chit-chat with her for a couple minutes in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Tracy Fry with the Roswell Public Library will join us and give us an update on events and things happening in the library. Of course, a lot of stuff for April, too. So she'll give us an update on all that here in the 9 o'clock hour. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And then on the other side of the break, we'll have Louis Mestis here join us from American Legion Post 28. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Competition is a big thing, especially when your child plays sport. My child comes home from practice saying, I beat so-and-so in this, or I was faster at least more than 2 people today. As a parent, I simply am thankful to watch her compete and thrive to do better for herself. But for her, everything is a competition. Even the late, great Dale Earnhardt said that second is the first loser. Sometimes competition can suck the life out of you. You know what? Running the race in the spiritual world is different. Running the race is about keeping the faith. And oh, how we could use a little pep talk on keeping the faith these days. A guy in the Bible named Paul wrote a letter to his young disciples saying, I have fought the fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Finishing makes all the difference when it comes to God. So if you are thinking about throwing in the towel, remember, just hang on and keep running the race. God will be there in the end.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday. Located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
There's nothing like a good night's sleep. But if your old, worn-out mattress is keeping you up at night, then hurry to Glenn's Furniture and change your life. Glenn's carries Serta, the finest mattress in the world. Whether you prefer a traditional inner spring, a modern memory foam, or a hybrid that combines the best of both, Glenn's has the right size and right firmness in stock, specially priced and ready for free delivery. So don't lay awake another night. Head for Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, making sweet dreams since 1953.
If your tires are flat, need your car fixed, our reviews are better than mixed at Big O. At Big O Tires. We do the job fast and with a smile. Whatever the problem, we go the extra mile at Big O. At Big O Tires. Trusted service, no need to lie. Hop online, our reviews are high at Big O. At Big O Tires. Unbeatable service in all our stores. That's why we get such high scores at Big O. At Big O Tires.
You can trust the team at Big O Tires for great service and even better deals. Come in today and save up to $100 instantly on select in-stock sets of Cooper, Nitto, and Pirelli brand tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. Not valid with other offers. Valid at participating locations. Expires 3/27/2022.
Score a slam dunk during the March Mania savings event at Roswell Honda with a great lineup of vehicles you can't miss. Like a 2018 Kia Optima for just $279 a month, a 2011 Honda Pilot for just $249 a month, or a 2016 Audi A3 for just $219 a month. Get a 12-pack just for stopping by, a basketball with a test drive, and a Big 5 gift card with purchase. Score big during the Slam Dunk Savings event at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd. Or shop online 24/7 and see what's waiting for you at roswellhonda.com.
Attention high school students, would you like more information on the most affordable 4-year university in New Mexico? Then RSVP today to our Eastern New Mexico University Open House Preview Day, Saturday, March 26th. At ENMU Open House, you will have a chance to win great prizes, such as an iPad and a $500 scholarship. Get more information about admissions and scholarships. Meet with ENMU faculty. Find out more about potential majors and get a specialized campus tour from ENMU students. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Explore, experience, excel. Eastern New Mexico University.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 95% of people text things they could never say in person. Check your text messages. We just sent you something. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from American Legion Post 28, of course, Louis Mestis back with us, and Michael Trujillo, and Orlando Padilla as well. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
How y'all doing today?
Great.
Good deal. Well, glad you had some time to come in and chit-chat with us this morning and talk a little Post 28 stuff. And obviously, the big thing is we're going to invite folks out to an event here on Tuesday. But before we do that, just give a little folks an update. What's going on with Post 28? How you guys doing? How's things been for you?
Well, we've been blessed.
Good.
And we've been working very hard over at Post 28. Michael and Orlando have been leading the charge on remodeling our cantina.
Nice.
And we painted completely 6,000 square feet of flooring.
Just these two?
I push them pretty hard today.
Louis got the whip. These two are handsome.
Yeah. I make a good supervisor. But we've been really excited about what we're doing to update the Veteran Post.
Good.
And Orlando has, Michael, of course, has donated a lot of the money to get this done. And Orlando has spearheaded.
Gotcha.
And so we're really excited about that. And on April the 2nd.
Okay.
We're going to have our grand opening.
Well, good. That's next week, isn't it?
Yes.
Man, April's next week. Holy cow.
Yeah. Can you believe that? April the 2nd.
I good call on not having it the 1st, because no one will believe me.
Exactly.
They're like, yeah, right. This is a joke. But April 2nd, all right, it's legit.
But both Michael and Orlando are combat veterans.
Good deal.
And they will be talking about, of course, Michael in Iraq and Orlando in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. And Orlando will talk now about what we're going to do on Tuesday.
Yeah, on Tuesday of next week here, we want to invite folks out. I'm going to have a veterans, I guess you could say, appreciation recognition here a little bit. And that's going to be Tuesday morning, 10 a.m., right? Yep. 10 a.m., and it's going to be at the POW site right up there by DeBrennan Park.
Yes,
right.
POW MIA Park.
Yes. I never get things right, technically. What's the official term? I'm like, the thing over here. I don't know. I'm very bad at that kind of stuff. But we want to get the public to come out and for a nice little. It's not long ceremony. It'll just be a little bit here, but we want to come and honor our veterans. And, one of the things American Legion is supporting our veterans. And one of the pillars is, looking out for our veterans and things. So not only helping them with resources, but honoring them and raising awareness to public on why the role of the veteran is important in our community. So I think events like this really set the tone for that, Orlando, you as being a Vietnam vet, that's obviously we had our Veterans Day parade last year was honoring our Vietnam vets, and this is the one we always, when we talk about veterans, and I don't care what theater or what war you served in or anything like that, but one thing I always talk about with Vietnam vets is that's the one we messed up on. You know what I mean? We've gotten it right after. I think Gulf War, we learned the lesson. In Gulf War, America was like, you know what? We need to honor the folks that serve our country.
Right.
But we forgot that lesson in Vietnam, and I think we're going to. A lot of us are going to spend the rest of our lives making up for that a little bit, or at least try to.
Exactly.
So I think events like this on Tuesday kind of help towards that too. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Orlando?
Yes, Mike. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
And as a former Vietnam vet, I served with the 1st Air Cav in 1969-70, and this particular day we honor as National Vietnam Veteran War Day, Vietnam War Day, and this is probably our 4th or 5th year we've done this at Post 28.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it couldn't have been done without these guys and all the other vets, members we have at Post 28. Done a lot of work out there at the post, and we just one day that we honor them, but throughout 365 days out of the year, if you see a Vietnam vet, thank him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But I like to say a few things few facts about the Vietnam.
Yeah, absolutely.
War, and okay. It's estimated that over 600,000 Vietnam vets are still alive. 600,000.
Wow. But that number is dwindling.
It is dwindling very fast,
yeah.
Yes. They range between 55 and 97 years old. The average range is about 19 years old. The National Vietnam War Vet Day is a national holiday. It's observed March 29th. It's going to be observed this Tuesday out there at POWMIA Park.
Yes, by De Bremen there, right?
Yes.
Right up the street.
Absolutely. There were 258 Medal of Honor recipients during the Vietnam War. 500,000 attended a war rally in 1969, Washington, D.C.,
Mm-hmm.
and that was not really a war rally, it was really a peace rally,
That was on the mall there, right?
Yes,
yeah.
and it's a far cry from what the one that happened last year, when all those that went to Washington, D.C. and made a big scene.
Yeah.
That was a war cry there.
The one during Vietnam era was a little more peaceful.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. It's not easy to talk about the war, for a lot of Vietnam vets.
Mm-hmm.
But some are coming out of the shell and talking more about it, soldiers returning are not so. The soldiers that were returning at that time, they didn't receive the respect, like you said, of the American public.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of stories, that happened to these Vietnam War veterans. One of the things that's not talked about are the ones that returned back from Vietnam and died here, and from complications of the Vietnam War.
Sure.
So those are important, and we want to recognize those and those that are still living, and the KIA also.
Talk to some Vietnam vets about Agent Orange and ask their thoughts on that.
Exactly, yeah. And the way things are going now, they finally realize that Agent Orange has has devastated a lot of Vietnam War vets.
And that's the physical. We're not talking PTSD and all the mental aspects that combat brings with it. That's just the Agent Orange exposure to that alone.
Exactly. And a lot of Vietnam veterans that I speak to, they speak to this effect. And there's there's several symptoms of Agent Orange, but there should be more coming out, because it's all coming out now with this.
And how many people lost lives to cancers and things and didn't associate that connection there? That, you know what I mean? Just
exactly.
They got cancer and died, and they just said, "Oh, it's a shame they got cancer," but they probably, if they do some medical research, you might find out, oh, they got cancer because of their exposure to Agent Orange in 1968. You know what I mean? So, how many of those cases happen that we don't know about?
Exactly. And they were not compensated for it.
Yeah.
One of the famous Vietnam War quotes was by Martin Luther King. He said, Vietnam War, he said, the war in Vietnam is but a symptom of a far deeper malady within the American spirit. So he realized, at that time also, Martin Luther King, the severity, the things that were going on within. It's a war that the American soldier did not really welcome to go, but went.
Yeah. Not to mention, kind of like times right now. We in the civil rights era there, it was a turbulent time in our own countries. In the world at that moment. We're at war in Vietnam, but at the same time here back at the home front, they're protesting the war, but civil rights are being fought as well at that same time. So it was a recipe for when these vets came home. They were looked at as the tool of the government and were treated as such. And unfortunately, that's we're paying for that now.
Yes. Well, all the ones that were killed in Chaves County, 26 of them?
22.
22 of them were killed. They'll be honored at the ceremony Tuesday.
Yes.
And found out that there's over 2,000 that were killed from New Mexico alone.
2,000 killed in action.
Yeah, killed in action. KIA, yes, in the Vietnam War from New Mexico. So we had a bunch, it kind of tells you, the Vietnam War vets.
Yeah.
That they probably didn't like the idea of going, but they went anyway, to serve their country, But anyway.
Some didn't have a choice, they were drafted.
Well, I'm one of those, yes.
People, young folks, it's kind of hard for them to wrap their head around the concept of the draft because, thank God, they haven't lived a life where they've had to see something like that.
Right.
And so, so it's kind of hard till you see it, witness it. It's kind of hard to think about it. So I hope to God our next future generations never have to experience that. But if you do, talk to fellows like Orlando here. He can give you some experience.
I was the last draft in 1971.
Were you?
That was the last year that they drafted.
Well, and then you got a lot of people too. Depending on your draft numbers, they're gonna be like, "Uh-oh, I got a low draft number. I'm gonna join the Air Force."
Yeah.
Or I got a high draft number. I'm gonna ride it out a little bit, see what happens.
Well, you know what, Mike? It's a good point because a lot of this particular ceremony honors all of us, in the military now, that are in the military now, and the veterans. And let's not forget the Vietnam era veterans, because most of them wanted to go to Vietnam, but never had a chance to. Lose one of them, and he got stationed in the Philippines. But all R&R. No, I'm just joking.
Well, hindsight being 2020, you probably made out with the good assignment.
No, as a matter of fact, though, those guys over there. Well, he was in the Marine. He was a Marine. They got exposed to Agent Orange too.
Sure.
No.
Yeah. There's no picnic at these places. If you're not in direct, your support of, and all of it involves a risk and definite. CYA, cover your butt and all this on there, making sure you're taken care of.
And of course, Mike, was exposed to a different kind of chemical, so, it's all the same. He'll probably tell you about it. I'll just close real quick.
I get you.
I'll just close real quick with, the MIA, POW soldiers, 2,500 of them, of these Americans, 1,200 reported killed in action, and their body was not recovered. That's sad to hear. For their families.
Look at it. I mean, just was it a year ago or 2 ago? Where they're still, finding remains and reuniting families with their loved ones here in 2021, 2020, and it's like, man, that's It's 50 years later.
I know. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'll just say that 58,220 Americans died in Vietnam. And if you ever see a Vietnam veteran or know of anybody, call him and thank him. And I'll close with this quote that I always use. Not everyone who lost his life in Vietnam died there. Not everyone who came home from Nam ever left there.
Mm-hmm. You know what, though? And this is something that I'm actually a little happy about. I'm starting to see stories now. And Orlando, thank you very much for sharing that. I appreciate it. Sorry, I didn't mean to just kind of, but I just had a thought and I wanted to. But, you know, I'm starting to see stories now of some reunitings and things where some Vietnam vets that served during that time and are going back to Vietnam here in 2020 and meeting up with some of the people that they faced in some of the villages that they were at and meeting the people and I think that's a little bit of great healing for some folks because everything I see there is now you're seeing the people in the war. Back then you weren't seeing that. You're seeing the war. And now you're seeing the faces and the people and you're like, man. And then, of course, as you look as an older person, you're probably, what were we thinking back then? You know what I mean? But that's life. And you look back and reflect on it sometimes.
It's like there's a few veterans that have opened up a lot in the last couple of years. And I don't know what it is, but the last couple of years, they started telling their story. Sure. Before then, they wouldn't talk about it or anything.
Maybe we're in a world where people feel more comfortable or maybe, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to say we know anything, as far as where we're at with PTSD and things, but I think we're in a place in the world now where people understand it's more to it. And they may even if they don't know what's going on, they're like, that person's experienced things I can't wrap my head around. Let's cut them some slack. You know what I mean? Right. I think we're in that world now a little bit. So maybe people that Vietnam vets, especially where are keep it in. We're here to be the iron and the iron cross in the sand here. You know what I mean? We're not so forthcoming with that. And I think now we live in an environment where people are like, hey, we need to listen to these folks. And I mean, I don't know where they're 100%, but I think we're living. So maybe that's something to do with it, where some of these veterans, even our Vietnam War veterinarians, where they've been kind of keeping this down for the last 30 years, are now
opening up,
able to say, you know what, this is the stuff I saw, and this is what I hope you guys don't have to ever see. So we'll see. Which is a good thing, and I imagine it's probably better for our younger generations or veterans now here. I'm not saying Gulf War veterans, you guys had it good, or you know what I mean, but certainly a Gulf War veteran is treated better than a Vietnam War veteran. We've learned since in that time, and you know what I mean. And I'm hoping when we get to when our kids that are over right now, in Afghanistan, we're over in these various theaters doing their thing, sitting in Kuwait still today, when they have to deal with their demons later on, they've got a support cast that helps deal with that kind of stuff, So think about that when you come out on Tuesday. I think that's when we talk about veterans and we talk about why we honor and why the role of the veterans is important, and it's for all those reasons. And even the veterans that did not have to go up and say, you know what, I didn't have to sit in the foxhole. I was one of the lucky ones here. But we thank them because they're willing to. And you know what? That's something we can't, as a veteran, you don't get to pick where you go sometimes. They put you where they put you and say, do what you got to do. And you're like, okay. Yeah. And so the fact that you're willing to step up and say, this is a country that I believe in what it stands for, and I want to do my part to make sure that its values are available to the next generations after me. And that's why we think a veteran is a pretty important person in our society. So love to have you come out. 10 o'clock, again, on Tuesday morning, and it's at the POWMIA, why can I never get the right word? Memorial. I can never get that word. The right word.
A lot of people don't know where that park is at. And I always describe it as where the German prisoners...
Yeah, the POW, the German POW... again,
placed a Maltese cross on the concrete there. But what we've tried to do this year is pull all the veteran organizations we could to represent.
Okay.
And to present. We've contacted.
We have some great groups in our area.
We do.
Here. Yeah.
And Bob Woolley's done an amazing job. He's a board member up at Angel Fire.
Okay.
And then he's a board member at Fort Stanton.
Okay.
And that organization is working with PTSD, and of course he'll be there. And we've got many other organizations that are going to come together that day.
Okay.
To honor National Vietnam Veteran Day.
And we'd love the public to come and spend a few minutes with us here as we celebrate our Vietnam veterans here on Tuesday. I know it's in the middle of the day kind of for folks, but if you're off work or you're off that day, or maybe take an early lunch, come and spend a few minutes here with us and I guarantee. Once you get there, you're going to see vets, you're going to see people there, and I think it's a great reminder for everyone about why our country's awesome and why our community's awesome. And events like this remind us of that as we honor, celebrate, mourn our veterans and things. We also use this as a moment to say, this is why we do what we do. We're here as a community. We're here as one people. To honor those that have sacrificed for us, and at the same time celebrate those and remind our future generations. That's things on Tuesday. It's I think honoring those that served is very important, but as important is using this to be an example to our youth. And I think and this is something that I've always preached up here at Veterans Day. I know veterans, you guys know better than I do. Veterans aren't ones that toot their horns and walk around and tout that kind of stuff. They keep low key. You want to honor them at a veterans parade or a veterans assembly. Most of us are kind of like, thanks, but I'm good. I'll just have my coffee and sit in the corner here and be good to go. But veterans, our charge is kind of to participate some of this, because we got to be the example for younger folks, because these younger folks are going to make the same decisions we made at some point, and we got to be there to kind of show them why these are the decisions you make and why what happens when you don't.
Yeah, and we are all volunteers.
Yeah.
Now it's no draft anymore; it's a volunteer army.
Yeah,
and I think that's what makes us the best army in the world.
Absolutely,
because we believe in what we're doing for our country.
Absolutely,
and standing for what we believe in. So with that, there's a few things that we're also doing. I know we're kind of running out of time.
A little bit of time. We're good.
we there at the park. Also, we're going to be maintaining the flags. We bought plenty of flags.
Oh, good.
We're working with the city.
Okay.
We've also donated solar lights for that area.
Nice.
So I'm not sure exactly where they're going to put them, but we've donated that.
Good deal. So do some upkeep and some maintenance and upgrades out there.
Right. And then there's other activities we're having, which next week we're going to have the grand opening.
Yeah.
The following week we're
come see these two's hard work all the day.
We didn't just do the main hall. We also redid the bar too.
Okay.
So the bar's practically brand new, so we did that.
So we'll have to come over for your little party and see the new digs here. Yeah.
So and then and I think I was discussing. I'm trying to get him to bring down the price of the beer. We'll find out what happens. So anyway,
he's not budging.
I got him down a little bit. I want to get it down a little bit more. So we'll see what happens.
Louis, he's a line in the sand. He ain't moving.
And then we're also having a car show. When is it, Louis?
May the 14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
May the 14th.
We'd like to have everybody come out.
And that'll be at the Post 28.
Yes. Any
home
car
there?
clubs. Any car clubs. Please get a hold of us.
Good deal. So bikes, lowriders, vintage, hot rod, whatever you're into, come and show it off at Post 28.
One of our members, Joe Lovato, is in charge of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we're one more other thing we're having is we always have every year is our flag ceremonies and that
retirement ceremony.
deal, and we have a lot of flags. So
that'll be this summer, right?
Yeah, it'll
be June, I think.
Well, we're going to probably have it twice.
Is that many?
I think we're sharing with Post 61 too.
Yeah, I think we're doing a joint one.
Yeah,
in
because
some...
there's just so many flags that people have turned in, and they more and more people have brought flags to the Legion. We have a little
fire pit,
fire. Well, we also have a place where you could bring the flags to.
Oh, a drop off.
Yeah, drop off,
Okay.
and it's an old mailbox is what it is, and you just and we have to empty it a lot. So I'm glad they're doing that instead of just throwing the flag away, because for me as a flag, it's a living thing. It's a symbol. It's a symbol, but it's a living symbol, and that's very important. You know, for us veterans, when we see that flag, that's what it stands for. That's for us.
Yeah.
So, but
it's a beacon for some,
right?
I mean, you look at the Iwo Jima Memorial. You know,
right.
that's like the beacon of the flag in wartime. You look, that moment that we remember and celebrate from Iwo Jima. That's kind of what we're talking about.
So
here.
So if you have a flag that's already either that lost its color or torn, bring it to the Legion, and we'll dispose of it like it's supposed to. Honor that flag.
Absolutely. And then we'll tell you dates when they're going to do their time, because we'd love to have you come out and participate that too. Because what it's really cool, because the flags get cut, to the stripes down. They burn them by the stripes, but then the stars. They cut the stars out of the blue field there, and generally we offer those as keepsakes, mementos. A lot of times a family member will honor a family member that's a veteran by having one of those done in their honor, and sometimes people keep them in their wallets. It's more of a keepsake or a memento. And so if you'd like to get one of those, we'd love to have you come out. And I think I've got one in my wallet right now. Matter of fact, we always keep. It's just that's. That's part of the tradition of retiring a flag. So,
and we want to thank you. I know you're the voice of veterans. We all know that here in Roswell. That you
I just
are
try to help.
I know you're a member of the American Legion, and you're our voice, and we certainly want to appreciate all you do for us, Mike.
I think as a veteran myself, I also know the role of the veteran, and I know veterans are just caught from a different cloth sometimes, and we need to know. We need to let people know, and veterans are always willing to serve. We're a different breed. We don't put up with nonsense as quickly as sometimes and things like that. But at the end of the day, we have big hearts, and we want to help, and we have a lot of veterans that are in need of help and are too stubborn to ask. We got to get out there and be a little stubborn for them.
Right.
Exactly.
Because we're good at that. And I also want to invite any veteran, come on out to Post 28, come 61, I don't care. Just come find your VFW, get involved in some of these activities here and meet. Like I said, Post 28's got the new digs up here. Maybe come out to the grand opening and have a see, and maybe become a member. It'd be a great opportunity to come and see and be part, because you guys have that the big social side of it too with Post 28. Post 61, we do a lot of things, but we don't have a meeting space like 28 does. It's designated for us, so you guys get to do some of that kind of stuff, which helps with the social aspect, which is very much as part of American Legion as the service side. We do that service side, but American Legion helps its own, and sometimes the best way to help a veteran is over a beer on a Thursday night, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's where a lot of work's done too.
Mike, we have we always wanted to get new members to come in, and veterans. The American Legion is a special organization because it has really four components with it. The American Legion itself, the Ladies Auxiliary, the Sons of the American Legion, and of course there's also the Legion Riders. Yeah. We don't have any Legion Riders here, but we do have the other three. And
if there's enough interest, there can be a Riders.
Yes, exactly.
Definitely.
We're always open for that, But if you are a member of Post 28 or even 61, and you need to renew, come by. We're going to have a membership day to come in, and recruit and more
May the
new
14th.
members and old members, and even transfers if you wanted to transfer
Sure.
also. So we like
We just
all
want you to get
come
back
out.
involved.
Yeah.
And then if your father or grandfather or mother or served in the military and you want to become a member of the American Legion, you can become a member of the Sons.
Absolutely.
Also.
Yeah.
So that's the other deal. The
And then-
Sons are a different organization,
Yeah.
but it still works with the American Legion.
It's all part of the umbrella of
Right.
the American Legion there. But yeah, several years ago, 3 or 4, American Legion changed it. So if you're a veteran that served honorably before Pearl Harbor, you're eligible to become a Legionnaire. And they had changed that date, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago here. But so you can do, so any veteran that served honorably before Pearl Harbor or after Pearl Harbor is eligible to become American Legion. Your sons, exactly. If your father, if you served, and that makes you eligible to become a son here. And then the auxiliary, spouses, and that's including men. Right. If you're a spouse of a veteran, you can be on the auxiliary, and I'm sure there's probably a man or two, and probably use a few more men to kind of help join the numbers in the auxiliary there too. But you're eligible to be a part of that as well. So, and you can be in multiple. You can, like, if we were joking the other day about being because, like, I'm a son and I'm a Legionnaire.
We are too. Yeah.
But I was like, could someone be all three? And technically, if you married a veteran, then you could be an all three.
Yeah, right. Some of us are dual members, American Legion and the Sons. But we're lucky to have the support that we do from the Sons of the American Legion and also the auxiliary. Yeah. And I'm sure 61 is too. Yeah. And all the Legion posts all over New Mexico. Did you want to say something about the district meeting?
Oh, that's this Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, that's more of an internal thing. But of course, if you want to learn more about Legion and all that too, First United Methodist Church at 10 a.m. this Saturday, the District 6 of the American Legion here, which is pretty much southeast New Mexico, they're going to be having a meeting at First United Methodist Church beginning at 10. If you're a Legionnaire or been a Legionnaire or interested in being a Legionnaire, there'll be a lot of people who will be happy to tell you all about Legion there at the meeting on Saturday too.
Yeah, the state commander will be there. So
yeah.
So.
You'll be a lot of different color hats. It's like, why has he got a white hat, a blue and a white hat, and a orange? What's going on?
That's a good question, though. A lot of members don't know that, but it's something we need to, get across. To everybody,
Absolutely.
As members, yeah.
Is there a phone number, or so if someone had any questions, want to learn more about Post 28? I mean, they can always come by there, but I know, depending on what time of day you come, you might be not finding too many people there. But if someone wants to talk to somebody, what's the best way to do that?
They can get a hold of me as the commander of Post 28, 575-317-8689.
Okay.
And as I said, Tuesday's going to be a great day because we're pulling together all these veteran organizations. For example, the Veterans of Foreign War. They're starting their chapter up again.
Yeah.
Chris Hicks.
Okay.
He's a Vietnam veteran. And so we're working with him. And actually, Post 28 is going to donate $100 to the Veterans of Foreign War.
Good to help get them going.
As they get started. And
another great organization.
It is. Yes. It is. And they'll be there on Tuesday.
Good deal. Excellent. Is Chaves County veterans are going to be involved?
Yes. Bethany Anderson.
Oh, great.
And the Chaves County veterans.
Good deal. They'll add a little ceremony to the ceremony.
Yeah. Southeast New Mexico Transportation.
Okay.
Magel Duran, who does an excellent job of giving rides to veterans that need to go to Albuquerque or Artesia.
They do so much great work there. And I can always look for more help. And so if you'd like to help out, either as a driver or financially, they reach out to them.
Well, we're blessed to have Magel over there at Post 28 with us. But I did want to say that we are still looking for, and I'll say it again, renewals, members that want to renew. We have a bunch that haven't renewed yet.
Sure.
But they can call me, Orlando Padilla, at 575-317-1070 if you want to renew your membership.
Yeah, very
or
good.
become a new member.
Or become a new member. Excellent.
I'm glad you guys gave yourselves numbers up.
We'll give them for you.
That's right. Louis like, I got Michael's right here. Hold on. Very good. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your involvement in our community. And we'll see you guys out here on Tuesday. I get off there right at 10. So so if you see a guy kind of like, running and trying to catch up, that'll be me.
Awesome.
I'm going to go right from here, heading to the POW MIA site there on Tuesday. Cool. So thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you. I'll see you this Saturday, too.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
All right. It is 7:54. Let's do some news and a quick break before more news. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Country music group Midland will bring its music to southeast New Mexico as the headliner concert for this year's UFO Festival. The all-ages concert will take place Saturday night, July 2nd. Gates will open at 5, with the opening acts to begin at 5:30 p.m. Midland is scheduled to take the stage about 8:30. Tickets will be $15 general admission or $100 for a VIP front row table. More details online at ufofestival.com. A federal judge this week convicted an elected official from New Mexico for illegally entering restricted U.S. Capitol grounds, but acquitted him of engaging in disorderly conduct during the riot that disrupted Congress from certifying Joe Biden's presidential election victory. U.S. District Court Judge Trevor McFadden heard a day of testimony without a jury Monday before handing down a verdict in the misdemeanor case against Otero County Commissioner Couy Griffin, a 48-year-old former rodeo rider who helped found a group called Cowboys for Trump. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty nice for the weekend, and our daytime highs will be on a warming trend. Very warm on Sunday with high pressure parked in the Four Corners. Lots of sunshine today, and our afternoon high in the low 80s and not too windy. It'll be clear for the overnight hours. We'll drop to about 40, and then we're looking at mid 80s and sunshine on Saturday, upper 80s, and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. We've got some scores from the Rio Rancho Sal Puentes baseball tournament, one involving a local team. That's the Goddard Rockets. They faced Valley and lost to the Vikings 8-2 on Thursday to start the tournament. Valley is 8-6. Goddard's now 3-7. They'll play again today. The Sertoma Colt Classics going on, hosted by NMMI, and the host school had no problems with Tularosa on Thursday to start things off. The Colts beat Thule 9-0. NMMI is now 8-0 on the season. They'll take on Santa Rosa tonight at 6:30. That same tournament, Dexter lost to Capitan 6-2. The Demons still seeking their first victory of the season. And we'll wrap it all up for you on Monday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Uber has decided to make a big change. It will now list New York City taxicabs on its app, a partnership that until recently would have been unthinkable, with both camps fighting for the same customers. After a period at which waits for an Uber ride grew longer due to a driver shortage, the partnership will boost the number of rides available, and it gives New York City cab drivers access to a massive pool of commuters with an Uber app on their phone. Chicago businessman Willie Wilson has done it again, giving gas away to motorists who showed up at 4 dozen gas stations. Some drivers waited for more than an hour to collect their $50 worth of gasoline. Gas prices had been rising nationwide. On Thursday, the cost of gas was close to $5 a gallon in the Chicago metro area. Wilson is a self-made millionaire who has run for mayor of Chicago, the U.S. Senate, and even president of the United States. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
They're back. The Yucca Blossom Trade Show is back and even bigger and better for spring. Saturday and Sunday, April 2nd and 3rd. It's the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. Even bigger than ever, with over 100 vendors across 3 buildings at the fairgrounds. And there's lots of activities for the entire family, including the Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo, MJWZ barrel cars, a cornhole tournament, face painting, kids get your picture taken with the Easter Bunny, and so much more. Plus, the food. Some of the best and most popular food trucks will be on hand so you can can spin the entire day. Enter to win the raffle with a drawing live on 92.9 The Brand Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m., 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Saturday, April 2nd, and 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday, April 3rd at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. The Yucca Blossom Spring into Action Trade Show. Don't miss it. Find Yucca Blossom Trade Days on Facebook to see some of the amazing one-of-a-kind items available to you during the Yucca Blossom Spring into Action Trade Show, April 2nd and 3rd. This invitation paid for by Holly Frontier Navajo Refining Company, a proud member of our community. Get smoking hot deals during the sizzling savings event at Roswell Nissan. Like a 2015 Ford F-150 for just $307 a month, or a 2010 Honda Odyssey for just $149 a month. And join Roswell Nissan March 26th from 10 to 1 for free food, stuff for the kiddos, and your chance to win a Masterbuilt 30-inch electric smoker. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a test drive or service, and 5 entries with a purchase. Drawing March 26th at 1, must be present to win. Get a Home Depot gift card with a test drive and a portable grill and a chance at the cash grab just for stopping by. On now at Roswell Nissan. 2111 West 2nd.
Talk radio has landed on the all-new 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
It is wheels down for President Biden. He has arrived in Poland, the final stop on his 4-day visit to Europe amid Putin's war in Ukraine. The president will meet with American troops and will get a briefing on the plight of Ukrainian refugees. Some 2 million Ukrainians have fled to neighboring Poland over the past month. President Biden and the European Union President Ursula von der Leyen have unveiled a deal that will see the U.S. supply Europe with liquefied natural gas. The aim, according to von der Leyen, is to end Europe's reliance on Russian energy.
The U.S. commitment to provide the European Union with additional at least 15 billion cubic meters of LNG this year is a big step in this direction.
With even larger shipments planned for the future, according to Mr. Biden.
We were able to take this step when others could not because the United States is a net exporter of energy with a strong domestic industry. And the United States welcomed the European Union's powerful statement earlier this month, committing to rapidly reduce its dependence on Russian gas.
The war in Ukraine entering its second month, with the Ukrainian military reporting advances on some fronts.
This is the first morning we can remember where it has been quiet. There is no artillery fire this morning. Ukrainian forces are thought to be surrounding, starting to encircle invading troops on western towns like Irpin and Bucha. And because of the pressure the Russians find themselves under, they're now unable to both surround Kyiv and the Chernihiv region to the north.
That's BBC's James Waterhouse in the Ukrainian capital. 7 in 10 of those surveyed for a new AP NORC poll say the U.S. economy's in bad shape. Close to 2/3 blame President Biden. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 88 points, while the NASDAQ 55 points lower. The S&P is up 6 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Spring cleaning is upon us, but there's one meaningful box that you don't throw away when cleaning out your closet. It's the box filled with your family's important videotapes, film reels, and photos. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago to help families organize and update their analog media to digital.
Legacy Box is simple and easy. It works and is safe. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box.
And Legacy Box has been featured in Good Housekeeping, The Today Show, and Rachel Ray.
Legacy Box is like magic, converting your shoebox of memories to the cloud or thumb drive, ready to watch and share.
Declutter your closet by digitizing your media. Become more organized and accomplished, knowing your family's recorded past is safe forever. Take advantage of our spring cleaning sale going on now. It's the easiest task to check off your to-do list.
Go to legacybox.com/LBox to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/LBox for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/LBox.
We're spending more at the gas pump, the grocery store, among other places, but there could be some help in the pipeline.
If you were the average family, you had to spend $3,500 more last year to buy the same amount of goods and services that you got in previous years. But now, your governor or lawmakers in your state might come to the rescue. Many are considering a simple solution. Send you money. Maine's governor wants to send most residents $850. Minnesota's governor is proposing income tax rebate checks of $1,000 per couple. All of those governors are Democrats. Critics, including many Republican lawmakers, say the money won't go very far. Instead, they want permanent tax cuts. I'm Rita Foley.
North Korea says it test-fired its biggest yet intercontinental ballistic missile under orders from Kim Jong-un, who vows to continue expanding his nuclear arsenal. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. The Supreme Court says death row inmates must be allowed to have their pastors pray aloud and even lay hands on them during their executions.
The 8-1 ruling is in the case of Texas inmate John Henry Ramirez. He challenged state rules that would have forced his pastor to remain silent and apart from him as he is put to death. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote, "It is possible to accommodate Ramirez's sincere religious beliefs without delaying or impeding his execution." Only Justice Clarence Thomas dissented, saying Ramirez has repeatedly attempted to delay his execution, part of an 18-year pattern of evasion. Roberts wrote, an inmate could be touched on a part of the body away from IV lines, noting Ramirez's lawyer had said it would be sufficient if his pastor could touch his foot. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Once again on Wall Street, the Dow is up 83 points, the NASDAQ down 60 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Deuces.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, welcome to it. I hope you're having a outstanding Friday so far. You know, I was listening to the Town Hall News update there, and they were talking about the man who was being sentenced to death, and the court there was ruling about whether his pastor could lay hands on him at the moment of its execution. Why is this being debated? Why is this a thing in the news? Why do we have to... the man is being sentenced to death.
Right.
He asked for his pastor. Why do we have to make a court thing out of that?
Honestly, I don't know.
I mean, it's not like he's being electrocuted. Okay, then we're like, well, it's the electric chair. Yeah. Probably not the best idea. But for lethal injection, I don't know. I don't think...
Well, okay.
Why are we gumming up the court's time with this? Why can't a man have a last request without a court act? That's reasonable.
If the man is a member of the Church of Christ Sciences, and maybe his pastor has like antidote in like his sleeves that while he lays hands on him, he's actually injecting him with the anti-venom.
Zombie juice?
Well, no, just the stuff that counteracts all the stuff they're about to... Maybe he's done his research and he knows what stuff he needs to put in his body to counteract the other stuff they're going to put in his body. And when his pastor lays hands on him, he's actually got needles here and here that he's injecting into just the right places. It's weird. He puts his hands here and here, and that is just the right places. It's like his kidney and like his right lung, right? So he's putting his hands right here, and that's the proper places he has to place the injections to counterbalance all the lethal injection stuff.
Oh.
And then he's going to play dead for a couple hours. The pastor himself will wheel him out, and then they're going to go off to the Bahamas.
Oh, well then, yeah, then I see why they're doing it.
Well, you understand it, yeah. It totally makes sense, right? Now we need to get down to the business.
I mean, just think about it for 1 second. They're having a court case, a major court, and they're deciding whether the pastor, and then at the end they're like, okay, well, he can touch his foot. This is what they're talking about.
It is crazy.
They're executing a man, and all he says is, I want my pastor with his hand on my shoulder or whatever, as this happens. And we got to do all this for that.
It's all just...
This is how stupid of a world we live in, regardless of your thoughts on the death penalty and all that. but they're debating on whether the man can have his pastor with him holding his hand or shoulder or whatever. And I'm like, just let it happen. If as long as it's not a danger to anybody, and I don't, at that point, is it really, other than, like I said, if it was being electrocuted or gas chamber, yeah, maybe there's some danger involved there. I don't know.
Touch your toe.
I just, what? That's the part of stuff that makes you just ridiculous. It's like, why? They're going to debate everything and fight everything. And it's like,
people are bored.
This man's last moments of breath on earth, regardless of what you think of the person, you honor by saying, all right, last request.
Do people on death row, like who are sentenced to death, like they're going to be like executed, lethal injection, whatever, do they still get a last meal? Is that still a thing?
To my knowledge, yeah.
Like, do they still, is it like a whatever you want kind of situation?
I think within reason.
I always wondered that. Like, is that, I mean, you're going down, right?
I'm guessing there's probably a budgetary, like you can't roll up in there, I want lobster from Maine and whatever. But you're like, you get to request, but I don't think you get to go overboard.
Well, because I started watching this YouTube.
My guess.
I started watching this YouTube series called Last Meals, and literally this YouTube chef makes these like celebrities, comedians, whatever, last meal, like what their last meal would be. They were going to be killed.
Well, that's wonderful, except for not being dead afterwards.
Right, but it's just kind of like an interesting concept. It's like, is that still a thing, or was that just like a concept that we just
and it may vary from
romanticized?
state to state and rules to rules
Right.
too. I don't know, but to my knowledge, I don't have a lot of death row experience.
Yeah, I ain't been on the inside long enough to know. Not long enough to ask, old Fission Joe down at the corner cell.
But based on my Hollywood knowledge, yes, they still get a last meal.
Right. All right, Google.
My guess in reality is
time to do exactly as much research as this topic deserves.
I think it gets depending on the the state, the rules, and I imagine some vary and things on that.
Boom. First question on Google: do death row inmates get a last meal? A condemned prisoner's last meal is a customary ritual preceding execution. In many countries, the prisoner may, within reason, select what the last meal will be.
There you go. Within reason.
Within reason.
Yeah. So sorry if you're like, I want escargot and da 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 da. They'll probably get you a steak, but
I like the ones that are like they do like the humble thing where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get just a single saltine cracker, and a shot of Concord grape juice.
I like the ones that don't go traditional, like because most people like your last meal and it's like I want a steak, potato, and other people are like no, I want an Eskimo pie and an ice cream sundae, and I'm like, well, it's your last meal. You're not worrying about nutrition so much.
No,
you want to eat your sundae first.
Really funny. I was watching one. It was actually Maria Bamford, her last meal, and the first thing was a Diet Coke. Go full lead at that point.
I understand that now. If you asked me that 20 years ago, I would have disagreed.
I don't know if I would choose. Okay,
but at this point, I've drank so many diets or Coke Zeros that you give me a full leaded, I'm grossed out by it.
So you would request a zero?
I'd request a zero.
Okay,
yeah, I would because that's what I like.
Yeah,
at this point,
honestly, I think maybe Dr. Pepper Zero. I could make that counter argument, but I just feel like I spent so much time in the realm of full sugar sodas.
Yeah,
there's a reason I was over $3.
Yeah, well, but I've since like every once in a while you're like, there's no diet Oreo, give me a Pepsi or give me a Coke, and I drink it, and I'm like, oh, it's so syrupy.
It is very thick.
I'm turned off by it now.
I will say this though, there's not much better on the planet than a full lead fountain soda.
So I get just as much joy in the Zeros.
If you get the Zeros fountains are a hard sell. You have to find the right place, which is why I wish the fine folks at McDonald's would put Coke Zero on their menu because they have the perfect fountain.
They would nail it, yeah.
But a full lead fountain soda, I would argue, is the best option.
So when you're up for your last meal, if you're Sean, go full leaded. Me, go Zero.
When I was working at the Vision Center inside Walmart, there was McDonald's had a restaurant inside the Walmart, as many will recall.
I do remember.
Even further back, a few years back, they had a kiosk right a little bit past customer service that was just a fountain, a soda fountain. It was
that around the time they had an arcade back in there?
Yes, yeah. It was around the time they opened. It was shortly after they opened. Anyways, so you could go and this was back when they had their 49-cent, basically bucket of soda.
I remember that.
The gigantic, yes. Before that documentary came out and ruined it for all of us, that gigantic soda. So, and I worked at the Vision Center, so I would just twice, 3 times a day just go down and refill this thing because it was the perfect fountain. It was right there. It was like heaven.
It's handy in your world.
It was heaven.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
The good old days, you know?
Well, hopefully McDonald's will decide to add the Coke Zero to their brand of beverages because you're right. They're the ones that don't mess around when it comes to their ice and the perfect water to soda to carbonation ratios. They got big wizards that just spend all day studying that stuff.
Big wizards. And this is what I will say about McDonald's too is they have they listen to the people as far as like their soda selection or their drink selection because for a long time they took High C orange lava burst off the menu and people were upset.
Well,
so that was the first thing they brought back when they could. Well, contractually when they could.
People demand Coke Zero on the list. Let's get that happening.
That's
So,
right.
but visit any of your McDonald's here in town. Thank you to them for sponsoring us each and every Friday, and get you. I got to go through the bag here, and I'm starting to get a little peckish, but definitely big thank you to them. Visit and see the new South Main McDonald's. You haven't been by there yet? Check it out. And download the app.
Definitely download the app.
And be part of the Cool Kids Society and get exclusive deals, their rewards program. By the way, I got enough for a sandwich sitting on my app right now.
Nice.
I got.
That's a good feeling, man.
Yeah.
You roll up and you're like, they're literally say it's on us.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a sandwich waiting and ready for me whenever I decide to cash in. Or I might hold out.
You know what? You could always
I'm going to hold out for a
save them
bigger
bad
sandwich.
boys up, and eventually you can get like a whole value meal.
Yeah, so I might hold on to them. And
it's a game. I'm curious to hit the top level and see how what all I can. I think I might be able to get a franchise.
There you go. After so many points,
that's right. I'm
getting
working,
McDonald's. Sir.
I'm working my way. It's like Marlboro miles, dude. I'm working my way up to the jacket. Do you remember that? There was like a random time where like.
I remember the Marlboro Miles. I knew a lot of people that collected them.
Every 47-year-old single father was just walking around with a Marlboro Miles jacket because they had smoked so. This is a bad time to talk about this during a sponsored segment. But what I'm saying is,
I just remember like if you had like a million points, you could get like an adventure. Like backpacker's backpack.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you smoke as many cigarettes as it take to get that backpack, you're gonna need that backpack to carry your oxygen tank.
Exactly. You're going nowhere. You're not going on adventures.
Here's a kayak. Sure, Wheezy's gonna be able to kayak that right through the Colorado River after he smoked his 27 packs of Marlboro cigarettes.
That backpack's just big enough to hold your CPAP machine as you're on your way down to dialysis.
Adventure team, yeah. Going over the cliff with your aqua lung. Yeah.
I think what we're trying to say is visit any of your 3 McDonald's here in Roswell. Oh my God. There was
wheezing to the karaoke hits.
Yes.
Only 1 million points.
You gotta feel bad for the Marlboro man. He shot all those at very high altitudes, those commercials for hours at a time. He had to have a lit cigarette. That's tough. I've read stories that the man was not a smoker before he started that campaign.
Marble Adventure Team. That's so funny now.
Rafting down the river, bud hanging out of your mouth.
Oh man!
Tasting the sensation, killing off one of your lungs.
So, lesson learned: McDonald's rewards good, Marlboro rewards bad.
There it is. That's really that's the takeaway.
Yes. Hey, we're gonna have Congresswoman Yvette Herald call us about 8:25 or so here. Let me take a quick break. I brought the hummus. Thanks to Sean reminding me. Do we want to try chocolate hummus and pretzels here in just a few?
After the Congresswoman?
Well, maybe we got time here on the other side of the break. Let's see how it goes.
Let's see what happens. Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Right. Let's do a weather and a quick break, and then we'll chit-chat a few minutes, try some hummus, and then we'll wait for Congresswoman Yvette Herald to call. Just hang on.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty nice for the weekend, and our daytime highs will be on a warming trend. Very warm on Sunday with high pressure parked in the Four Corners. Lots of sunshine today, and our afternoon high in the low 80s and not too windy. It'll be clear for the overnight hours. We'll drop to about 40, and then we're looking at mid 80s and sunshine on Saturday, upper 80s, and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Mays Lumber has all the hard-to-find hardwood you've been looking for. Oak, cherry, walnut, poplar, and maple. Plus, hard-to-find exotic woods like purple heart, zebra wood, ambrosia maple, black limba, and bloodwood. Perfect for that one-of-a-kind gift piece or table. Get ready with Formica and Wilson Art countertops in 12-footer custom length with installation available. Make it happen at Mays Lumber, 115 South Virginia in Roswell, serving southeastern New Mexico and beyond since 1934.
They're back! The Yucca Blossom Trade Show is back and even bigger and better for spring. Saturday and Sunday, April 2nd and 3rd. It's the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. Even bigger than ever with over 100 vendors across 3 buildings at the fairgrounds. And there's lots of activities for the entire family, including the Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo, MJWZ barrel cars, a cornhole tournament, face painting, kids get your picture taken with the Easter Bunny, and so much more. Plus, the food. Some of the best and most popular food trucks will be on hand so you can spend the entire day. Enter to win the raffle with a drawing live on 92.9 The Brand Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m., 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Saturday, April 2nd, and 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday, April 3rd at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. The Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show. Don't miss it. Find Yucca Blossom Trade Days on Facebook to see some of the amazing one-of-a-kind items available to you during the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show, April 2nd and 3rd. This invitation paid for by Holly Frontier, Navajo Refining Company, a proud member of our community.
Competition is a big thing, especially when your child plays sport. My child comes home from practice saying, I beat so-and-so in this, or I was faster at least more than 2 people today. As a parent, I simply am thankful to watch her compete and thrive to do better for herself. But for her, everything is a competition. Even the late, great Dale Earnhardt said that second is the first loser. Sometimes competition can suck the life out of you. You know what? Running the race in the spiritual world is different. Running the race is about keeping the faith. And oh, how we could use a little pep talk on keeping the faith these days. A guy in the Bible named Paul wrote a letter to his young disciples saying, I have fought the fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Finishing makes all the difference when it comes to God. So if you are thinking about throwing in the towel, remember, just hang on and keep running the race. God will be there in the end.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
For over 40 years, Sierra Blanca Motors here in Roswell have been providing locals with quality vehicles and are committed to providing you quality vehicles and service for many years to come. No sales gimmicks, no inflated pricing, just a quality pre-owned vehicle listed at retail pricing or less. Have a used vehicle to sell? Get top trade-in value or an amazing cash offer today. Let Danny or Jose provide you a great car buying experience. Call 575-622-7907 or stop by Sierra Blanca Motors at 720 South Main Street in Roswell. Se habla español.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You cannot snore and dream at the same time, unless you're dreaming about snoring. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. And guess what? We lucked out a few minutes here early. Congresswoman Yvette Harrell got free and was able to join us a minute or two early here on the phone. Good morning, Congresswoman. How are you doing today?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoy our conversation so much.
I do too. So I'm glad we got an extra minute or two here. I know they got you on a busy schedule on Friday here. With everything going on. I'm just kind of curious, of course, the attention right now this week is on the Senate side of things, looking at the Supreme Court Justice nomination. When that's going on, what's the House doing?
The House is actually in recess.
Okay.
So I've been in district all week.
Okay.
I was over in Las Cruces yesterday. I've been up in Ruidoso. So I've been visiting people all over the district this week. So it's funny because we'll be in recess and then they'll be having those confirmation hearings and so forth. And that's turning into something. I do appreciate the fact that it's not been the circus that it was with, say, Brett Kavanaugh. But some of the questions are a bit alarming, and I do think she's a very bright and very accomplished judge for sure, Ms. Jackson. But I did find it, and I'm sure a bunch of people did, pretty fascinating that when Marsha Blackburn asked her to, describe a woman or what's the definition of woman, and she wouldn't do it. And I think what really the more important thing to keep in mind, and probably most of the listeners or the people who saw it were thinking this, is, we're moving to this place where we're supposed to just accept. If a grown man says he's a woman, he wants to be a woman, we're just supposed to somehow accept that. Yeah. And I think most people just don't feel that way. And so I think that answer from Ms. Jackson was very telling.
Yeah, I think, Congresswoman, you were mentioning about some of the questions alarming and things, and you're right. And you're right, because that question about what's your definition of woman, and I think what people got upset is we all know that answer. She gave the political answer, not what the answer is, and I think that's what got people upset. But I think what bothers me with the whole thing is while people are going online and saying, how they're upset at the senators for asking her these questions, and great, I understand that those questions are like, yeah, what the heck? Why are you answering? But at the same time, these kinds of questions of equal, and not the same question, but the equal stupidness was also asked for the last couple of judicial hearings here.
Right.
Why weren't those same people complaining then? They were cheering months ago. Now they're complaining, and that's where I was like, if you didn't like it then and you like it now, then there's something wrong with you. You know what I mean? That's the part that makes me mad.
It makes me mad too, because it's just the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
It is absolute hypocrisy, and who pays for it in the form of these failed policies and the attack on our domestic oil production. All these things we're seeing are us. Are the American people, and I think the reason this is so important is, this is a lifetime appointment. I mean, this woman, if she is in fact confirmed to the Supreme Court, you have to think about, these are the people that are going to interpret and shape the law, the way the Constitution reads. I mean, this is a huge deal, and it really will have implications over the course of time. And this is important that we understand this, and also, packing the court. Even Justice Ginsburg said, 9 justices was enough. But of course, there are others that think there should be a larger number, and obviously that's due so that they can put more progressive judges on the bench. And then it will, in fact, change the way we look at our Constitution and the way law is interpreted. So very fascinating, very scary to think that we're in a place in our nation where we're having the kind of conversations that are actually taking place instead of building our nation up to a stronger place, working on our economy, working on small business development, working on bringing manufacturing of goods and pharmaceuticals and drugs back to our country. I mean, our president is asking our OPEC and others to drill oil when we're sitting here enriched and blessed with such an amazing natural resource. It is making no sense, and I think that certainly the people of New Mexico, but the people of the country are starting to go, wait a minute, this is crazy. And I think there's people far right, far left, but I believe the synergy and the understanding of what's happening is really taking place, more in the middle. And it doesn't matter your party affiliation, your race. People are just starting to go, this isn't right. We're going down the wrong road.
You mentioned that very thing, and you're talking about oil and gas production there. And I just saw on the news last night, in the 5 o'clock news, they were Senator Martin Heinrich. I guess he introduced some legislation in the Senate where in essence, he's basically standing out saying that America needs to not rely on Russian oil, petroleum. And And so something where we don't accept or whatever, and I don't remember all the details of the bill he's proposing, but along those lines, that's what he's trying to do. And I'm sitting there listening to the story. I'm like, you are a senator for the state of New Mexico. Rather than telling us stop using Russian oil, which, yes, you're right, but offer the solution and say New Mexico's got you covered. Let's fire up you know what I mean? You're a representative of New Mexico. Represent New Mexicans and look out for us. Yes, I agree. We don't want to be on Russian oil, but guess what? We don't need to buy it from Saudi Arabia either. Let's buy it from New Mexico and Texas and our places, you know?
Exactly. I mean, you represent one of the number 2 producing oil state in the nation.
Yeah.
I mean, the jobs that are directly and indirectly attached to that, the communities, the schools, the budget, all these things. And I'm telling you, it is absolutely an attack on our fossil fuels to go totally green. Well, one, we're not there yet. I think most people would agree that, look, an all of the above approach is a great idea, but we have to be sensible about it, and there's no way we can eliminate all fossil fuels and think that we are going to live in a normal setting the way we are used to living now with the goods that we use every single day. I mean, what's the backup plan for plastic bags or medical equipment or syringes or makeup or clothes or sports equipment or asphalt or I'm just looking around where I am right now thinking if everything in here that was touched by fossil fuel left, it'd probably just be the concrete slab, and the walls. I mean, they're not being honest with the American people about how many products we use every day that are touched by petroleum products and, the medications. I mean, so what makes me mad is, it's all green, let's do green, save the world, the environment. Of course, there's no regulations. We're asking countries that have no environmental regulations, and are certainly not the kind we have, to pump more oil. So it's kind of like, well, how are you trying to save the planet, save the climate, save the world, when you're going to ask people that countries that produce oil in a dirty fashion, it's dirty oil, they don't do it like we do. So how is that saving the planet? This is why that's the conversation that needs to take place. And I've asked some of these environmentalists in committee, you're hamstringing the American energy production. You're making it harder, not better, for us to do things. So how are how's China responding? How's Iran responding to you? How's Saudi Arabia? Well, and it's like, well, you're right, because there is no response because you don't have that authority. And so it is absolutely an attack on American energy, and that's what we need to be honest about.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And Martin Heinrich, none of our delegation has been standing and beating the drum to support our industry except me. I mean, Fernandez has come out with bills to raise royalty rates. They're all about Green New Deal. It is fascinating that we would have people in Congress that would not understand the value of American energy independence and what the products and services are we use every day. And I think he's also helping to push, all LNG, like gas stoves and, all these other things. Well, guess what? Not everybody can afford that, just like everybody can't afford an electric car either.
Sure, yeah. That was kind of the funny memes going around week before when everyone was like, oh, well, you can't afford the $4 gallon gas? Buy a Tesla. Yeah, because I can afford a $60,000 or $100,000 electric car. But,
right.
Yeah.
Well,
that's how out of touch they feel. Yeah.
Exactly, and here's the conversation that ought to be happening. Let's continue to push our energy producers to do it like they are cleaner. Let's give them the tools they need. Let's help them build out the infrastructure with the pipelines and the things that we know are necessary, and stop hamstringing them. But here's the thing, and I want to kind of touch on this because I had mentioned it once before in our office. I don't think we've talked about it. There are now little surveys going around, and I know they are in the oil patch for those companies because I've seen them, where they're having these subcontractors, if you will, fill out surveys that they have to disclose what kind of impact their company has on the climate. And if they don't fill it out, or if they don't if they don't cut the mustard with the federal government, the feds are considering taking them off a list or putting them on a list where they could no longer be used as a subcontractor.
Wow.
This is an absolute attack on American free markets and capitalism. And just last week, the SEC, or actually earlier this week, the SEC put out a report, an article that said publicly traded companies they are going to start having them fill out these same type of questionnaires to see how their companies, their products impact the climate. This is scary stuff. This is things that, you don't hear about this on the news. This is an absolute overreach and intrusion of our own government. I mean, there are problems around the world, and we see them, and we see it on the news. But the real fight is happening. It's almost like a silent enemy that you cannot see because it'll show up in the form of a questionnaire, of an overregulation. Look at the banks. They're very now becoming so woke, some of them, that they don't even want to do business with some of the industry that are important to New Mexico. That's the thing that Americans need to wake up to, and we need to do, and I will do a better job of speaking about these things, because that is absolute sabotaging our capitalist markets, our free markets, and really our businesses, and that scares me.
Yeah, when we're listening and hearing you talk and talking about some of the mandates and things that are going on here in these regulations, it almost reminds me a little of, the 50s and 60s, the McCarthyism era type, the blacklist. That I feel like we're almost in a more modern version of that right now. Am I off at all, you think, at least from your perspective?
No, I think that we need to be very careful and very watchful. I mean, I just heard this week that company, that Blackstone, that company, that they're buying up real estate by the tens of thousands, because ultimately they may be owning the property that they will allow people to rent. I mean, there is a much darker, uglier movement happening within our own nation. And of course, it's hard to keep up with it because, honestly, there's so much going on in terms of globally, just with what's happening in Ukraine, with what's happening with our border, with what's happening in energy. And by the way, we still have Americans left in Afghanistan that this administration does not talk about. But I mean, there's so many things that are happening that you really, unless you're hearing it from somebody or in an environment, a business or somewhere where you're seeing it, it's not something the general public are talking about. But I am telling you that you are not far off, I don't think, and we have allowed now the value of our dollar to be devalued. And I think, we're running down the road where they're going to have to really increase interest rates. I mean, we've done this 3 times, kind of that reset many, many years ago. Then they did it again in the 70s. And that's when they raised those interest rates to around 18 or 20%. And we're on the verge of, because we aren't smart in the way we're governing our nation, we are overspending when there's no offsets. Now we're tripling the ability to have people make money where they can pay taxes and so forth. And the idea, I guess, the solution for this administration is just to spend more money with no guardrails, with no way of knowing where and how this money is getting spent. And now we're finding out, we spent over $10 trillion last year, and so much of that money has been used for waste, fraud, and abuse. Not COVID. I don't think a golf course, and I don't think sport complex, and all these things that are being spent by our money, our taxpayer dollars, had a thing to do with COVID. And I can point to a half a dozen small communities in the 2nd Congressional that would have welcomed just a few $100,000 to help with essential services that they were really having a hard time with, or food banks for some of the seniors in their area when the senior centers were closed. I mean, it just makes you sit back and go, first you think, is our government really this bad? Mm-hmm. And then you wonder, is our government really for America? Because it sure doesn't look like it at this point. And you're starting to see and think the way a lot of other people are, and it's scary to think that way. And it's scary to even say it out loud, but there is so much darkness going on to sabotage our small businesses, especially, and it's just scary to me.
Yeah, and we talk about mandates and regulations, and I'm thinking, yeah, we need less of that. But one area I think we need more is the spending side, and that's all right. What if we put the same kind of mandate and scrutiny on the monies and what it's earmarked for versus where it actually goes? And I got a feeling if you started mandate and regulate and do some digging on those, you're going to find a whole lot of places where we could save money and get rid of cutting pork and then actually taking that money and doing the programs and the things that it should be for and where it's for. And
Exactly.
I think if we want to talk mandates and regulations, let's start mandating and regulating what happens after the check is signed, not before. You know?
Exactly, and make the lawmaker accountable. And here's the thing, and I've said this before. The only thing to me, I say this kind of smiling with my, smiling about it, but you feel like the only thing these founders missed with our Constitution was putting in term limits. I mean, Nancy Pelosi is the poster child of why we need these term limits.
I agree.
And I think that has been somewhat of a major problem for our nation, and I think we need them on the state level as well. Because now, when you're looking at the big picture, we've got people, and I know we are short on time, but I want to say a couple of things.
Yeah.
We now have the environmentalists and the special interest groups calling the shots. That's who's dictating to Nancy Pelosi and all these others. But here's the other thing that, and this is to me the most remarkable thought to have. Here we have a lot of members of Congress, not all, but there's a lot, especially on the Democratic side, who have never been in business for themselves, never signed the front of the paycheck, and the President of the United States has never been in private sector business. He's always been in public office. So every time that you sound the alarm, well, heck, there's the federal government to bail us out. Senator and then vice president and president. I mean, 40 years of public service of just using the government as your bank, as your scapegoat, as your everything. These people have no idea the cost of doing business, what it feels like to lay awake at night to make payroll, and not only for that employee, but how that impacts their families and, just the general costs in general of doing business. And these are the people that are pointing to all of us saying, you're going to do this, you're going to pay that, you're going to pay this for insurance. Oh, and by the way, we're going to now put these environmental regulations on you, and you have to sell. I mean, this is sabotaging what we stand for and what makes America so great. And we have people that do not understand that, and I think in some cases don't even love our country. Why are we going to change it to a country like Venezuela or Cuba? It just baffles my mind.
And how much of it's being done not because they think that's what's best for the country, but that's because it'll cover up the shenanigans they've been doing for the last 30, 40 years and saving their legacy, so to speak. I mean, how much of that's going on? And it's like, I don't know what my kids and how much generational wealth I've milked out of this system, and now I'm supporting my kids and everybody else on, even though it's something that I shouldn't have done or didn't deserve or earn,
Right. Or how much of it is being done because special interest groups and these big corporations are in the back pocket of these politicians. So we're cutting off the little guy at their need, making it tougher for people, small businesses that can't absorb these sort of costs. But, it should be a little bit alarming when SEC puts out this report that they're going to start mandating this environmental, basically, survey, and then they put in there, Google, and some of these companies, they volunteered to do it. Well, heck yeah, because you're protecting them, because they're canceling our culture, because they're part of the problem, not the solution. And these crazy politicians and this administration are just happy to trot down that trail because they are following the money. And who's getting the short end of the stick every day is the American taxpayer, the American business owner, the American worker. That's who's getting the short end of the stick with this stuff.
Yeah. It's 8:41. I'm going to get in trouble, Casey, if I don't.
I know it. Yeah, we'll probably catch you in a minute. So, well, I will. It's my fault too, because I just love being on the radio with you, but. I won't keep you either.
Yeah, but I appreciate the short visit, and we're gonna make Casey give us more time. Make you come in studio and sit down, and we'll have all kinds of time, and they won't be able to shut us up. So
let's do it. Let's do it. I'll tell him that we agreed on that. I'll tell him that's our plan.
There we go. Perfect.
Anyway, well, you have a blessed weekend, and I just thank you so much for the opportunity to visit with you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll talk to you next time. And we're praying for you. Take care.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. All right, that was Congresswoman Yvette Harrell. I like to talk to her, but she had a very tight window there. All right, it is 8:42. Let's pause for some local news. We'll take a quick break, and then we're going to try this hummus and then all that. So we'll got a few minutes to do all that. So listen to us eat hummus soon. Don't go away. I don't know how you people can't wait to get back on the other side after that tease.
Now for a Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Country music group Midland will bring its music to southeast New Mexico as the headliner concert for this year's UFO Festival. The all-ages concert will take place Saturday night, July 2nd. Gates will open at 5, with the opening acts to begin at 5:30 p.m. Midland is scheduled to take the stage about 8:30. Tickets will be $15 general admission or $100 for a VIP front row table. More details online at ufofestival.com. A federal judge this week convicted an elected official from New Mexico for illegally entering restricted U.S. Capitol grounds, but acquitted him of engaging in disorderly conduct during the riot that disrupted Congress from certifying Joe Biden's presidential election victory. U.S. District Court Judge Trevor McFadden heard a day of testimony without a jury Monday before handing down a verdict in the misdemeanor case against Otero County Commissioner Couy Griffin, a 48-year-old former rodeo rider who helped found a group called Cowboys for Trump. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty nice for the weekend, and our daytime highs will be on a warming trend. Very warm on Sunday with high pressure parked in the Four Corners. Lots of sunshine today, and our afternoon high in the low 80s and not too windy. It'll be clear for the overnight hours. We'll drop to about 40, and then we're looking at mid 80s and sunshine on Saturday, upper 80s, and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Uber has decided to make a big change. It will now list New York City taxicabs on its app, a partnership that until recently would have been unthinkable, with both camps fighting for the same customers. After a period at which waits for an Uber ride grew longer due to a driver shortage, the partnership will boost the number of rides available, and it gives New York City cab drivers access to a massive pool of commuters with an Uber app on their phone. Chicago businessman Willie Wilson has done it again, giving gas away to motorists who showed up at 4 dozen gas stations. Some drivers waited for more than an hour to collect their $50 worth of gasoline. Gas prices have been rising nationwide. On Thursday, the cost of gas was close to $5 a gallon in the Chicago metro area. Wilson is a self-made millionaire who has run for mayor of Chicago, the U.S. Senate, and even president of the United States. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
They're back! The Yucca Blossom Trade Show is back and even bigger and better for spring. Saturday and Sunday, April 2nd and 3rd. It's the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. Even bigger than ever, with over 100 vendors across 3 buildings at the fairgrounds. And there's lots of activities for the entire family, including the Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo, MJWZ barrel cars, a cornhole tournament, face painting, kids get your picture taken with the Easter Bunny, and so much more. Plus, the food. Some of the best and most popular food trucks will be on hand so you can spend the entire day. Enter to win the raffle with a drawing live on 92.9 The Brand Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m., 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Saturday, April 2nd, and 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday, April 3rd at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. The Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show. Don't miss it. Find Yucca Blossom Trade Days on Facebook to see some of the amazing one-of-a-kind items available to you during the Yucca Blossom Spring Into Action Trade Show, April 2nd and 3rd. This invitation paid for by Holly Frontier, Navajo Refining Company, a proud member of our community.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical. Name to remember.
Competition is a big thing, especially when your child plays sport. My child comes home from practice saying, I beat so-and-so in this, or I was faster at least more than 2 people today. As a parent, I simply am thankful to watch her compete and thrive to do better for herself. But for her, everything is a competition. Even the late, great Dale Earnhardt said that second is the first loser. Sometimes competition can suck the life out of you. You know what? Running the race in the spiritual world is different. Running the race is about keeping the faith. And oh, how we could use a little pep talk on keeping the faith these days. A guy in the Bible named Paul wrote a letter to his young disciples saying, I have fought the fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Finishing makes all the difference when it comes to God. So if you are thinking about throwing in the towel, remember, just hang on and keep running the race. God will be there in the end.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday. located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Ketchup was used as a medicine back in the 1930s. Mike uses ketchup to make friends. He doesn't have a lot of friends. Here's Mike Winters.
I don't. But the ones I do, boy, howdy, do they love ketchup. Good morning. It is 8:50 here, and we got a couple minutes for the top of the hour and news and all that. I do want to remind folks real quick that while we're setting up for our hummus samplings, I do want to remind folks that Grace Community Church and Celebrate Recovery would like to invite everyone out Saturday afternoon, April 2nd at 4 p.m. to a night of hope and inspiration with Hosanna Wong. It's a free event. Don't cost you one dime, and it's happening Saturday, April 2nd, 4 p.m. at Grace Community Church, 935 West Mescalero Road. And we had Troy and James join us from Celebrate Recovery earlier in the week, and had a great interview with him about that. Played a little clip. I invite you to go back and check that interview out and learn more about the event at your leisure, ksvptv.com. Click in the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find it there, or you'll find it in our YouTube channel on, YouTube, and then our Facebook wall as well. So, all right. So I procured a couple weeks ago, actually, and we're past the sell by, but we're not by the use by.
Not by the use by. Just
the sell by. I found Boar's Head is getting in the hummus game, and they have a dark chocolate hummus. And as folks know, I am a fan of chocolate.
Ooh, I like the consistency there. I'm just going to put a little spoonful on each plate.
Yeah, it almost has a like mousse. Chocolate icing.
It's like a thick mousse, or like an icing. I should probably get closer on Mike. All right.
So is Tanner in on the
Tanner?
Hummus?
You want to try some of this?
The hummus sampling.
Are you doing the?
Does he like?
Carb thing?
Do you like hummus to begin with? So if you don't like hummus,
well, see, hummus is traditionally made with chickpeas. I don't know if this actually is. Is
it may not be a chickpea based?
I'm curious.
I just assumed it was because it's hummus. Okay. That's like calling a burger and not putting meat in it. You know.
All right.
Well, thank
Here's
you.
one for you, sir.
I'd like to smell it.
All right. That's why I put it on a spoon so it's easy lift. Okay.
Right.
So let me see. I'm just curious. The ingredients. Okay. Steamed chickpeas. Yeah. Organic sugar, water. So it actually does have. It
doesn't have a fragrant chocolate odor to it.
Not super, but it does have a bit.
I just touched my nose with the chocolate.
It does have a bit of one. I also, just because, thanks to our fine friends at McDonald's, I'm going to try a little on a hash brown.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
by the way, there's one hash brown left. I tore a piece of it off. Anybody who wants the rest of it, it wasn't bitten, it was torn.
Well, I may tore it and put it on here. I may try it too.
It's in there.
Totally bit it off.
Totally, yeah. That's a clean bite right there.
All right, now, should we... Right. Do I want to try the hummus by itself first?
I think we need to have it just by itself first to see how it is.
So what I'll do is
take a little fingertip full.
I got a plate here with some on it, so I'm just going to dab a finger and do this with it,
right?
And have me a sampler.
Same.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's not super rich chocolate. It definitely has the consistency of hummus, which I like. I was hoping for.
Oh, man.
I like it.
I like it by itself.
It's not heavy, rich. It's not like you see it. It looks like chocolate frosting. You think, oh, this is going to be stupid rich. It's not. It's
What
actually
if it totally is, and they just packaged it as hummus?
well. It's not. It's not rich like frosting.
Yeah.
Like if you had like a spoonful of chocolate frosting, this would hurt your jaw.
Yeah.
This feels it's mild.
I kind of dig it.
All right, I'm gonna try this on a pretzel here.
Yeah, me too. Down the gullet.
Oh, I like that. That's a winner.
I just found a new snack.
This is it.
And with the pretzel, it works.
It's perfect.
I love chocolate covered pretzels. So to make this like this,
it tastes just like you ever had those pretzel flips?
Yeah.
It tastes just like that. It tastes exactly like a chocolate pretzel flip.
Now I'm mad I shared this with you. I should have kept this
Right?
for myself.
They're still keeping helping. All right. That was real good.
All right, we got one thing left to do.
Uh-huh. You want?
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
All right. There's a bigger piece in there, Tanner, if you want to go grab that.
Yeah, just
I'm
grab
good.
that.
I'm just going to eat what I got.
Grab that hash brown. I want to try it.
It's good, though.
Yeah, grab that half whatever's left of that.
Oh, I was going to give you this piece. Okay.
That's all right. Well,
all right.
You eat that.
You do you.
Man, that's good.
That
with
is
the chocolate.
really,
That
really
chocolate
good.
hummus is awesome.
Where did you find this now?
Albertsons.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for bringing this into my life.
Well, we're going to the store this weekend, Sunday.
Me and you? All right.
Yeah, whatever. I'm going.
Oh, that is so good.
I got to prep for my colonoscopy on
seriously,
Wednesday.
if y'all are like sleeping on hummus, this is the window to try it.
All right. I'm going to party here.
Okay. I have to clean my palate. Hang on.
Have you tried it yet?
No. Okay. All right. Nice hunk of hash brown. Dink it and sink it.
Yeah,
There you go.
do it.
Not as good as I was hoping.
No, it's not bad.
Here's the problem.
It's merely mint.
Here's the problem. The McDonald's hash brown is perfect by itself. I have noticed even putting ketchup on a hash brown.
Yeah, I don't
blasphemy.
eat anything on hash browns normally.
Salsa, whatever. A hash brown by itself is perfect. So,
to be honest, it kind of masks the hash brown and just makes it into a chocolate potato.
well, that's the thing is it definitely you taste the layers.
Where like the pretzel crunch enhances.
This blends so perfectly together to where like you feel like you're eating one snack. That you literally feel like you're eating two things.
Yeah.
This is so good.
Yeah, so keep it off your hash.
Oh my god.
Stick it to pretzel crisp is what we went with. That is my favorite snack right now.
That's up there. That's definitely up
Chocolate hummus and pretzel sticks.
there. Man.
Or pretzel crisps.
That is legit.
Holy cow.
That's really good.
I feel like I just found a new friend. We're gonna go
This
to
has been hiding in your fridge for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're gonna do karate in the basement here in a little bit.
Yep, me and some chocolate hummus.
Yeah, we're gonna do some sword play. And
Ingredients aren't bad either.
I know.
maybe start a band
Seems
together.
better for you. Maybe without the pretzels.
That's the thing. It's not bad. 80 calories per serving. And a serving is 2 tablespoons. What you had is about 1 tablespoon.
Okay.
80 calories. That's legitimately good for you. Dude.
There you go.
You just unlocked Pandora's box over here, man. Holy moly.
God bless the USA.
I think what we're trying to say is thank you to the fine folks at McDonald's with 3 locations here in Roswell. Stop by, breakfast treats.
And thanks to Boar's Head for inventing chocolate hummus.
Thank you to Boar's Head.
Dark chocolate hummus.
And while we're at it, thanks Chickpeas for existing and being so malleable.
I don't even care about the radio show anymore. I'm just trying to scrape as much chocolate off this spoon.
This is riveting radio, but this is so good.
That is really good.
I hope y'all are hungry.
By the way, if any of the fine folks out there who own a eating establishment, a delicatessen, you want your food to be mindlessly munched on while 3 idiots sit and don't talk on a radio show, hit us up.
I'll sample your foods.
We'll be your Huckleberry.
Bring us your food.
Bring us your fare. Let us sample it. Let us sample your wares.
I hope that everyone has a wonderful day.
Oh, so far.
You know, well, I mean, let's face it.
It just puts you in a mood. You're like, I just hope everything is happy. Oh, this is delightful.
Let's not even the chocolate. I'm just talking so y'all can eat.
We've sat. Well, no, we sat in this room, and in rooms like it over the years, and I've put things in my mouth for this show.
It's true, and you're not done. Oh, no. You're not done.
That would make a grown man puke. You know, I mean, I've done things.
Drive a grown man to tears.
And this time, it was a win for me, and I'm happy about that. You know, there's been many a time where I've eaten booger-flavored jelly beans.
Yeah, how many times do we have to, suck down vomit-flavored jelly bellies?
Chips so hot that it makes you poop yourself and things like that. I've done these things.
Hey, I'm gonna get a quick personal plug-in since we have just a couple minutes. Follow me on TikTok.
What are you doing?
Sean Smalls 929.
All right.
It's just random TikToks. I just different stuff. Just challenges. I did an office tour a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so follow me on TikTok.
All right.
Sean Smalls, SMALLS 929.
Is this going to end up on there?
No, unfortunately, I did not TikTok this. I should have.
Are you going to do like slapstick? Are you going to like walk into a rave?
You know what?
There's enough
Throw down challenges. People on TikTok do weird stuff. Like there's one dude who just like samples like mayonnaise and vodka or whatever. Throw down a challenge. Yeah. You know what? I'll give you my Venmo or my Cash App.
Throw this
Cash
on
App
there.
me some money.
There's still enough hummus and chips to.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely do a sample.
Go do that.
I'll throw a sample on TikTok later. Sean Smalls 929 on TikTok. Find me.
You know what? I bet that would be good with potato chips too.
Dude, it's good with it recommends with strawberries or pretzels. But that's that's real good.
Yeah,
that was good.
And we went with the pretzel crisp instead of a pretzel. So it's all skin and no meat.
That's the right amount of pretzel. It's not too much.
Yeah, I love that.
It's a skinny pretzel.
I ain't gonna lie. Now that I've had that, I'm kind of like poo-pooing on regular hummus a little bit now. I'm like, regular hummus ain't no good compared to this. You know what I'm saying?
Hummus is always going to be my one seed.
Yeah. I love it with olives, weirdly enough, black olives. All right, it's 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Time for Town Hall News. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The list of atrocities committed by the Russians in Ukraine continues to grow. Mariupol city officials say around 300 people died in last week's Russian airstrikes on a theater that was being used as a civilian bomb shelter. Prior to the attack, a huge Russian language inscription reading "Children" was posted outside the theater. Visible from high above the building, it was supposed to deter a Russian attack. The U.S. and the EU announcing a new partnership aimed at reducing Europe's dependence on Russian energy.
In the latest step to further isolate Moscow after its invasion of Ukraine, President Biden said the U.S. will increase energy exports to Europe.
15 billion cubic meters of liquefied natural gas, LNG, for Europe this year.
The president said reducing Europe's dependence on Russian oil and gas is the right thing to do from a moral standpoint and makes long-term strategic sense. Greg Clugston, Washington.
It is not a good report card for President Biden when it comes to his stewardship of the U.S. economy. Correspondent Shelley Adler reports on a new AP NORC Center for Public Affairs Research poll.
65% of Americans disapprove of President Biden's handling of the nation's economy. That includes 96% of Republicans. 88% of Democrats say high gas prices are outside Biden's control, while 79% of Republicans specifically blame his policies.
Pro athletes and show business celebs getting a pass on New York City's COVID vaccine mandates, but not average New Yorkers like police and firefighters. And Mayor Eric Adams catching flack for that. More than 1,400 city workers were fired for refusing to take the vaccine. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 193 points, NASDAQ down 30. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com code 3388. Enjoy.
German business confidence has plummeted as the outlook of business executives for the coming months darkens following Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
The IFO Institute says its monthly confidence index fell to 90.8 points in March from 95.8 in February. It says sentiment collapsed. Company managers' assessment of their current situation was slightly worse than in February, but their view of the outlook for the next 6 months is far worse.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Britain's transport secretary vowing to force a ferry operator to reverse the illegal firings of almost 800 workers, saying the company's brazen and breathtaking decision to intentionally break the law will not be allowed to stand. Grant Shapps says he'll introduce a package of legislation next week that would force companies like P&O Ferries to pay the UK minimum wage at sea as well on land. News and analysis at townhall.com. Looks like we can expect new cryptocurrency regulations in the future.
The chairman of the Federal Reserve Board says the economy's rules now in place were not built with a digital world in mind. Jerome Powell says forms of e-money like cryptocurrencies and stable coins need new rules to protect consumers. He says these new forms of payment for goods and services will likely make electronic transactions cheaper and faster, but he warns they could also destabilize existing financial institutions. Jason Walker reporting.
The Justice Department says 4 Russian government officials have been charged in hacks that targeted the global energy industry and thousands of computers worldwide between 2012 and 2018. The indictments come as the FBI sounds new alarms about efforts by Russian hackers to target the networks of energy firms in the U.S. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
I watch AEW and the ring announcer Justin Roberts. He does there's a certain like little thing. He's trying to get his like Michael Buffer thing, like trying to find his thing.
Yeah.
And he's really good at his trills. So he'll intro this one guy as Penta El Cerro Miero. So
nice.
Yeah. He just hits those trills.
So he needs to work on his trill and his catchphrase. Whatever he can coin.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
Just take someone else's and make it your own.
Ready to regulate, maybe.
Ready to regulate, yeah.
Yeah, let's get ready to regulate, maybe.
What was his name? What's the guy from Celebrity Deathmatch? What was the referee? Did you ever watch Celebrity Deathmatch?
I do, but it's been so long. I vaguely remember it.
He had his catchphrase was, "Let's get it on."
Yeah.
Who was that guy?
Oh, that was making fun of the ref.
No, it was him.
Oh, the actual bald guy.
It was Mickey. It was Mick. No, that's the guy.
I know the face, the bow tie, the whole nine. I just don't remember his name.
A good clean fight, but that was actually him doing the voice on the show.
Was it him?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I know they were spoofing him. I didn't know it was actually him.
Hang on.
Why do I want to feel like a Michael is his name? But I don't
heard.
know.
Now, I don't know if this is true, but I heard they're bringing that back, like on
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yes.
I don't know any of the celebrities anymore.
Well, no, I heard they're bringing back like new episodes. Like they're going to put it out on
Right, new episodes, but I don't know celebrities anymore. Like I watched the Grammys and I don't know any of those people.
Right.
So I'm going to watch
Same.
Celebrity Deathmatch. Like,
Mills Lane.
Mills
Lane.
That's why I was
yes.
thinking Michael, but Mills. Okay.
Yeah, Mills Lane.
Yeah.
Dude, this show, I mean hours. Because of course MTV2 when I was younger, that was they would just show marathons of that show.
Yeah.
Back before all they showed was ridiculousness, kids, they used to show things like Celebrity Deathmatch, and it was fantastic. It wouldn't fly today, I don't think.
Probably not.
But you could put it on a streaming service because they're going to put it on whatever.
Although South
Paramount?
Park flies today.
Yeah.
Why would Celebrity Deathmatch not fly today?
Just because it's, I don't know. I guess it could if people can pause their judgment for a minute.
You can get away with a lot more in animation
I
than
feel
you
like
can in...
South Park is grandfathered in.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things. It's like, well, they've had this really insane cell phone plan and they've never stopped paying the bill on time, so we can't cut them off.
Well, I think the people that are like upset and offended by it, it's not on the radar because they know it's so ridiculous they don't care.
Right.
And then the people that would be offended by what they actually say know that they're spoofing the very thing of which they're making. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if they
I
do
just remembered
a
at the
racist
time-
overtone or whatever, it's because they're making fun of said racist overtone and spotlighting the stupidity of it, not making it sound like it's a good thing. And I think if maybe the people that watch it are savvy enough to understand that, and the ones that aren't, it's not on their radar to care.
They actually did do new episodes. This is like just Mariah Carey versus Jim Carrey. We've got Chris Rock versus Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Busta Rhymes versus William Shakespeare, Paris Hilton versus Nicole Richie.
Well, at least I know all these celebrities.
This all happened in 2020, so this is probably something they put together during the pandemic. Jerry Seinfeld versus Tim Allen. I just remember that a lot of people. Oh, it's all on YouTube.
You
That's
sure it's
awesome.
not the same cast from the original one? I'm hearing all these names. I'm like, yeah, they probably had one of Tim Allen and Jerry Seinfeld.
That's Vault. That's Vault. Oh, I'm gonna look into it. There probably is new seasons.
I'm sure they had Paris Hilton and Lionel Richie's daughter. What was her name? Nicole Richie. Yeah.
Okay, it was canceled again in 2007. In April 2015, MTV2 announced a reboot of the series. However, in November 2016, Fogel stated via Twitter that MTV did not pick up the pilot to series. So never mind. But, well, I just remember at the time that the show was out, like celebrities were real up in arms about it. Like they were not happy.
Yeah, back then. Now I think it'd be a badge of honor.
Right.
You know what I mean? To be put on it. Any celebrity that's, with it.
Right.
I would think it's
and
a
that's
badge of
and that's
honor.
kind of the same thing with South Park, and that's why their thing before their show has always since episode 1 been all celebrity voices are impersonated ... poorly.
Yeah. Unless it's George Clooney.
Yeah. Which actually he played the dog.
I know. He was the voice of the dog in the first season.
It's a fun fact for you kids.
Yeah. Do you think he's still a fan today? Like,
I'm sure he's probably.
Like, is Clooney when he's collecting his Nespresso money?
They're all like weirdly loose fans of each other's work. It's like they rip on each other, but you find out that like Seth MacFarlane and Trey and Matt are actually like they're close, friends.
Well, they're chewing the same weeds.
Yeah, but
I mean?
they've bashed each other on each other's shows.
Yeah, but you know what? That's all ratings.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's like when you see two rappers beef and start doing like
they're just blowing each other
troll
up.
raps. Yeah,
and they don't really hate each other that much.
That's right. It's all pro wrestling, kids.
Except for the
Faces
one or
and
two
heels.
instances that it actually happens, and then they turned it into a Netflix documentary a couple years later.
Well, that's when you get Biggie and Pac. Let's be honest.
Let me give you the rundown. Oh, I got to first thank the fine folks at McDonald's. Yes. I do love their food. Does not pair well with the chocolate hummus, but that's not McDonald's fault. That's not McDonald's fault. Everything else is gravy there. That's why they don't have chocolate hummus, because that's not what they do. But swing on by any of your 3 McDonald's. They got you covered. And, of course, don't forget to download that app and utilize it to your smartphones. Sign up for their rewards program, and while you're ordering your food, sign up for those rewards, and then you get free food the more you order. So it's free to download, and, of course, through that app you can order and pick up through curbside, through drive-through. You can even use it to call in and pick it up and then sit down and dine in and enjoy your meal. So download it today. All right, here's the rundown for this hour. We're going to get you up to date with the weather here in just a few. And then here in just a couple minutes, we'll have the folks in the Roswell Public Library join us. I think Tracy Fry's here, and we'll get an update on what's happening over at the library with her. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, along with your Hannity update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's take a look at that sweet, sweet warm weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty nice for the weekend, and our daytime highs will be on a warming trend. Very warm on Sunday with high pressure parked in the Four Corners. Lots of sunshine today, and our afternoon high in the low 80s and not too windy. It'll be clear for the overnight hours. We'll drop to about 40, and then we're looking at mid 80s and sunshine on Saturday, upper 80s, and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently 53 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 26%. And the winds are currently out of the north at 3 miles per hour. We are looking at a warm day today. A nice day. Sunny skies, 83 for a high today. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Enjoy it. Can't ask for much better springtime day than today. Tonight, mostly clear. Looking at an overnight low of 42. East winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, even warmer, 87. And mostly sunny tomorrow. Winds will be out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy. Overnight low of 45 degrees. South winds 5 to 10. And then we're going to be hitting 90 for you Sunday. Mostly sunny. Highs near 90 expected. Winds will be out of the west early. 5 to 10 miles per hour, increasing out of the south for the afternoon, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 47, and sunny and 91 on Monday when you head back to work and school. And then looking at some rain chances, like a 20-30% chance of rain Tuesday night into Wednesday. Tuesday, temps drop down to the upper 70s. Wednesday, those temps drop down to the mid-60s. So enjoy your 80s for the next couple days here. All right, it is 15 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break, and then the folks in the Roswell Public Library will join us here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Get smoking hot deals during the sizzling savings event at Roswell Nissan. Like a 2015 Ford F-150 for just $307 a month, or a 2010 Honda Odyssey for just $149 a month. And join Roswell Nissan March 26th from 10 to 1 for free food, stuff for the kiddos, and your chance to win a Masterbuilt 30-inch electric smoker. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a test drive or service, and 5 entries with a purchase. Drawing March 26th at 1, must be present to win. Get a Home Depot gift card with a test drive and a portable grill and a chance at the cash grab just for stopping by. On now at Roswell Nissan. 2111 West 2nd.
Competition is a big thing, especially when your child plays sport. My child comes home from practice saying, I beat so-and-so in this, or I was faster at least more than 2 people today. As a parent, I simply am thankful to watch her compete and thrive to do better for herself. But for her, everything is a competition. Even the late, great Dale Earnhardt said that second is the first loser. Sometimes competition can suck the life out of you. You know what? Running the race in the spiritual world is different. Running the race is about keeping the faith. And oh, how we could use a little pep talk on keeping the faith these days. A guy in the Bible named Paul wrote a letter to his young disciples saying, I have fought the fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Finishing makes all the difference when it comes to God. So if you are thinking about throwing in the towel, remember, just hang on and keep running the race. God will be there in the end.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday. Located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
When it comes to the security of your home or business, you want a local company, one that has a personal investment right here in Southeast New Mexico. Zenith Security Services is your local Honeywell dealer. Zenith can handle all of your business and residential alarms, cameras, and IT services, as well as home theater installations, all from a local company. The Spring Starter Package is now available at Zenith Security Services for your home or business. Call the real Zenith Security Services today, 575-626-3521. Zenith Security Services, protection with a local touch.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The word gorilla is derived from a Greek word meaning a tribe of hairy women. Mike recommends that if you see a tribe of hairy women, you don't call them gorillas. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Public Library, Tracy Fry and Peggy Boland back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Okay.
Good. How's life at the library been? I mean, you guys been pretty, I know spring break was, for Roswell was last week.
Right.
I'm assuming you guys had spring break activities. I'm assuming
Yes.
you probably were a little bit busier last week with the kids
Well,
and
we
families.
had the STEM camp.
Yeah, and that's a STEM camp. And
That was awesome.
how did it good crowds and
Yeah,
everybody love it?
Good amount of people, and we launched rockets at the Wool Bowl on Wednesday instead of Thursday because the winds on Thursday
That
were
was the
predicted.
windy day. Yeah.
Right, and so we had a fire truck out there and an ambulance and the whole thing. It was so much fun. The kids loved it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we had a good time.
I imagine maybe a couple of those kids will probably, now that they're done STEM camp, are probably talking to their parents about, hey, can we get a rocket kit? I'd like to build my own rocket or build my own.
Yeah, there's a couple who actually asked about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
Next thing you know, they're going to be our next little NASA engineers over here,
Right,
or
you
scientists, or who knows? Maybe they're going to work for Boeing and design the next big plane. Who knows?
Yes,
But,
because the rockets they built, they can be launched again with the proper engines.
Yes.
So that's what's
And
great.
proper construction, and you put the engine in properly. When you
Mhm.
don't do those things, you don't get to do it.
Not at all.
Although you might get a show, depending on what happens.
yeah.
Hence the need for the fire department.
That's right. That's why we call the fire department. It is
Very
Desert
cool.
Southwest.
But I'm glad the kids had a great time, and
Oh,
the
yes.
families that participated. So if you missed out, guess you're just going to have to wait for summer reading program for more fun stuff this summer here, which we'll talk more about as we get to summer here.
Mhm.
But I know April's a busy month for you guys too, though, right? You guys got a bunch of stuff here in April coming up, don't you?
At the end of the month, we have Day of the Child. So
Okay.
we're gonna have like a little celebration. It's all revolving around a book called Book Fiesta, and it's like a American Library Association thing. They have the Day of the Child
Okay.
once a year in April, and so we're gonna have a little celebration. We'll have a sort of almost like a party. We'll have games and and we invite the public to come.
Sure.
Yeah.
But really, it's at the end of the day, it's promoting reading and trying to get kids
Children
to
enjoying books.
Yeah,
Yes.
getting a kid to hopefully find their book that opens their minds and desires up to want to read and to read more. Because the idea is to get them to read a lot more in that first book. Is to get them into that book, that first book. They get into it. They love the story. They make something that's their own.
Yes.
And when they're done with that, hopefully the bug is in there and they're ready to find their next story that they can
Definitely.
get around. And that's all we're trying to do here is get that to get these kids to enjoy reading as
Right.
much as they enjoy getting on their cell phone, playing games, and doing all the things
Yeah.
that they do to buy idle time and things like that.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. What else do we want to mention? I know of course, we always got the daily activities, and we got some other things that we'll talk about here in a minute. But
Right.
is there any special events or anything we want to make sure we cover?
Special events? No, that would be the one big special event at the end of the month.
Okay.
Because we're, of course, gearing up for summer reading, which will start in June. So
Mhm.
that's why it's just one thing.
Gotcha. But that's the big, and what I mean by it, because they have monthly scheduled
Right.
events like the Stitchers Unite meet every month, and of course they'll have their Lego Lego night and
Board games,
of course
and
the story
chess
times for the
club.
younger kids during the week and things like those are all happening like they normally
Right.
would.
Right.
And we'll remind you about each of those here in just a few. But that's what I meant when we're talking regular versus
right.
Is it still tax season for you guys? Pretty heavy, or is that pretty much done now? Or
well, see, I'm on the children's side, but I know that they do have
a lot of kids ain't at requesting tax forms.
No teens have come over and asked me for tax forms. They're on the adult side, but I know they still have plenty of forms. So if anybody still needs forms, they're more than welcome to come down and get it for free.
I didn't know if there was a bit of a hiatus till about April 13th, and then everybody in their office gets back, and I need to get that tax file. I better get that done. So, but the library can help with all the documentation and forms and things. And if you don't know how to fill out past that, then you might need to talk to a CPA, not the librarian. But that's just my advice. One thing I do want to talk about real quick, and we've talked about this in the past, but now that some people still have some spring breaks going on, and of course summer's right around the corner. If you got family road trips around the state planned in the coming weeks, months, or ahead here, the Roswell Public Library through the New Mexico Tourism Department has a really good opportunity. And this has been for a couple years now, even pre-COVID. This family pass.
Oh yeah, right.
And basically, there's 20-some things around the state.
I can pass this to you so you can take a look at it.
There's 15 total locations around the state, museums, historical sites that you can get into for free with this pass.
Right. Free or reduced.
Or discounted. And I think that covers like up to 6 people.
Yes,
something like that.
So a whole family can get in here. Just a couple off the list here. Here in Alamogordo, the New Mexico Museum of Space History. If you've never been to the Space Museum there,
that's a great one.
Take this pass, get in there, free or discounted, depending on what they do. Let's see, other stuff on the south end of town, south end of the state here. Historic sites include Fort Sumner, the Lincoln Historical Site. So if you always wanted to go do the Billy the Kid stuff, you can go see it for free with all this here. And, of course, if you want to see some of the museums of Albuquerque and Santa Fe, the National Hispanic Cultural Center, the New Mexico Museum of Natural History and Science, the New Mexico Farm and Ranch Heritage Museums, all those are covered. In Santa Fe, the Museum of the Indian Arts and Culture, Museum of International Folk Art, the New Mexico History Museum, the Palace of the Governors in Santa Fe there, the New Mexico Museum of Art, and, of course, the Coronado site, El Camino, Fort Selden, Fort Stanton, Fort Sumner, Jimenez Historic Site, and Lincoln. All those places you can go for free or discounted with this pass. Now, how this pass works is you check it out like a book.
And
you
for
get
1 week.
And you get it for 1 week. You can't renew it.
Right.
You can't do it over the phone. You got to come to the front desk, physically be there, check it out, physically take it with you, and then 7 days from that day, you got to bring it back to the library. But what you do with it in those 7 days, you can take it all over the state and do anything.
Right.
But we got to bring it back in 7 days so the next family has a chance to do those things too.
Exactly.
But you think about it, 6 people to go see. I just know Lincoln, for instance. I think it's about $8-10 a person to go see Lincoln. You got 6 of them. That's $60 right there.
Right.
That's a lunch you just saved. You know what I mean? And money there that you can use for other parts of your trip or something like that.
It's the same as the Albuquerque Natural History Museum. That's on there, and it's $8 to get into that wonderful museum.
Yeah.
Only $8. But if you have the pass, it's free.
Yeah.
Yes.
And by the way, another pro tip, if you're going to go to see Lincoln, go and get the extra and go to see Fort Stanton too. I'm telling you, it's just a little 10-minute trip over there.
Right.
But Lincoln's cool and you see all the stuff, but there's equally a cool experience over at Fort Stanton.
Right.
I finally got a chance, like last year, to finally go and walk through and see the quarters and see the quartermasters and the museum and all there. It is cool. It is so cool. They got and it's Civil War history. It's all the way up to World War I and II history. There's so much history there that not just cowboys stuff. You know what I mean? And so when you do go to Lincoln and go get that pass, go make sure you take the family farther up the hill there to Fort Stanton and go check that out too. So
then we just ask that after they finish and they bring it back, they have a little family survey. It's like only like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 questions.
And they really want to know just how much people are utilizing this, where they're going with it.
How they felt using it.
And I'm guessing, too, if the list that they have of places meets the needs. Is there enough of them? Maybe there's some more we need to add. Maybe there's some that aren't as popular and we need to swap them out with something that be more popular. So they use that information to kind of curtail and to customize this opportunity for folks, too.
Correct.
Well, maybe the city of Roswell could put a couple of their museums on
I'm
there.
just saying, why can't I would think it'd be great to put the Anderson Museum or the Roswell Museum or the zoo, or especially now that they're charging for some of those folks. Maybe some of the out of town folks can, or are in town folks, because I'm sure other libraries across the state are offering the same pass.
I'm sure.
But some of our Roswell folks could use it here, or folks coming from Cruces or Farmington to come visit us, they can use that pass from their library.
Right.
So, I would love to see that, to get a few more folks to come visit our stuff. Come for the aliens, stay for the rest of the cool stuff.
Right. The Anderson Museum is free, though. They wouldn't need that. Yeah. So that's a free.
I was trying to start something here.
No, we need to. You need
that pass to get it. $5 if you want. Stand there and look. Actually, I laugh real quick. I had a friend of mine when I was in the military. He was a guy in the military, and his kid was about ready to go on a field trip to Washington, D.C. We were in Alamogordo, and his kid was about to do a big trip to D.C. in his high school class. Mm-hmm. And so the kid was telling him how much spending money he needs and all that. He goes, well, I got to pay for the museums and all these. I said, he's going to D.C., right? He's like, yeah. All the Smithsonian museums are free. You don't pay anything to go.
That's right.
So I just blew up this kid's trying to get an extra couple $100 and spend it. He goes, oh, really? Thank you for telling me that. Sorry, kid.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's go. If you want to learn more about that pass, just come to the front desk at the library there, and they'll be happy to explain to you and give it a check out. But like I said, you got to time it. So time it to pick it up right around and you can't reserve it. Right. You can't be like, hey, can you hold it for me? I'm going to pick it. No, can't do that. It's first come, first serve. When it's there, it's there. When it's gone, and I think you got more than one, right?
I think we have about 10.
Okay.
And it's not being utilized as much as we would like.
And that's why we're saying, so you don't have a problem, but we would like to make it so it's a little bit in demand,
Exactly.
Because everyone loves to go out and sightsee. You're going to go and do these things. Might as well, let's add a little bit, or maybe add to your adventure. Maybe you're going to go up there to visit family and didn't really have plans. And what's that move? You go to visit family. It's like, what do you want to do today? And they end up hanging around the house, yelling at each other. The kids go crazy. You end up going to some place that serves ice cream or something. It's like, well, let's add some of these cool historic places into it and then get your ice cream.
Exactly.
Good deal. So that's available right now.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the story times and some of our regular scheduled events.
Right. Okay, so we're still having on Tuesdays at 10:30. We have our Mother Goose story time, which is like for birth to 3 years old. Okay. And we also have a Spanish version at 5 p.m. on Tuesdays.
And you know what?
And it's Spanish immersion too.
Bring your English kids to that.
Yes.
Because they'll probably learn a lot more Spanish then than they will in high school when they're trying to learn it then. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they know that stuff. So, I mean, if you're trying to get your children exposed to multicultural languages and getting them, bring those kids to those Spanish stories. I don't care if you got Spanish and you're not, bring it in there. Go in there and put them in there and get them exposed to, and vice versa.
Right.
English kids, Spanish kids, bring them to both. They can suck up so much at that age.
They can.
And it's you're doing such a great service to your children by doing that. So.
And Diana does the Spanish. Diana is doing the Spanish story, Mother Goose story time, and she does do the stories in both English and Spanish, so that because we do have so many that are coming that are not Spanish speakers. So
great. Well, it's great because now you can learn the other language because now you can put 2 and 2 together, and it's like, oh, that word means that. I didn't know that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's great. So please use that as another teaching guide to because really. Kids at that age, they're sponges. They see and mimic and do. And the more you show them, the more they're going to mimic, see, and do, the more that's going to sink in and make that child, when they get older, become that more better at critical thinking, reading, all the things we hope our kids possess when we're done. They got a much bigger leg up and advantage on that by coming out to story time when they're newborns, 2 years old, and reading Spanish and English, dude. That's great.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I got
That's
on
right. Okay, and then on Wednesdays, we still have at 10:30 our music and movement story time. So it's dancing. It's a story dance type thing. Okay. And that's for ages 3 to 5.
Very good. Keep active. Nothing wrong with that. Burn off some energy.
It's funny. I'm reading the story, and you can hear them all wiggly, but as soon as I say, okay, now it's time to dance because we're wiggling, then everybody's attention because they just want to get up and dance and move.
Well, they know
around.
their dance is coming, but they know they can't do it yet, but they can't help it, so they're kind of like,
yeah.
And then it's like, let it go. It's like,
yeah. Exactly.
That's fun.
And so our monthly, we're just going to have STEM only once this month, and that's going to be on the 20th.
Okay.
Peggy's going to be doing that one. And that's going to be at 4:30 on Wednesday, the 20th.
Okay.
And then also we have our book club for the kids, and we're going to be reading Esperanza Rising on April 7th.
Okay.
At 4:30.
And what remind me again, what's the age appropriate for the book club for kids?
Well, it's reading level appropriate.
So it's multiple. So if they're kindergarten or whatever or younger, there's.
If they can read and understand the book, they're more than welcome to come.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know if a 14-year-old would get something out of this and an 8-year-old would, or something like that.
If they're more than welcome to borrow the book.
Okay.
And if they like the book and they want to come back and discuss it, they're more.
I guess maybe what do you think the appropriate grade level is for that book reading wise? Like what?
Probably like 3rd grade.
Okay. Just wanted. I was like, is this more for elementary kids or more for middle school or okay? So probably more elementary age kids. Gotcha. Okay. Perfect.
And so we also have our crochet club that meets 3 p.m. on Fridays.
Nice.
And then our Saturday is going to be full of this. Okay, April 2nd, we'll have the chess club at 10 a.m.
Okay.
All levels.
And if you want to learn chess or you got some chess under your belt and want to play or maybe mentor or look for a new chess partner, just come out to those meetings and play some chess.
And that's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You don't have to stay the whole time. You can come and go.
Okay.
And then on April 2nd, also, we have the Lego Club at 11 a.m. That's 11 to 1 p.m.
And that's for families to come out and just play Legos.
Right. We have all sizes.
Yeah. And really, the idea is to get the parents and the kids down there playing together. Because as we all know, Legos is one of those multi-generational.
Oh, yes.
I think we're at the point on this earth where pretty much every American, regardless of how old you are, have played with Legos at some point. You know what I mean?
Or stepped on one.
Or stepped on one, yeah. Of course, you're probably not as big a fan of the Lego. I'm not ready to go out for Legos. But for those that got enjoyment out of it, love to have you come. And of course, parents can be like, when I was a kid, we had these, and this is what we did. And kids would be like, oh, well, this is what we do now. And you guys still do usually what it is there's like a little quick 10-minute project they can do or something, and then it's free reign. Did y'all still do that? Or
I was putting out like challenges, but most of the kids, they just wanted to come in and they just wanted to free build.
So you just kind of let them do it all for that.
Right.
Cool. So wherever your mind creates and takes it to, that's what you get to do. And of course, y'all take pictures of some of the cool stuff and put it on Facebook and all that. So
we had one child that created a chicken that was so cool. So of course we put that on Facebook.
Yeah. That's part of the fun, and that's why I like kids, because this brings you back to the original style of Legos, where they just gave us a big box of Legos, the various things, and said create. Now it feels like Legos are more about kits. Here's the Death Star Lego. Here's the whatever Lego, and when we were kids, you didn't get all that. You just got a big old thing of Legos and said, "Here's Legos. Go make Legos."
That's probably why the kids like. If I I was originally putting up a challenge, and a lot of them were into it. They just wanted to create on their own, and that's probably they just didn't want to. They wanted to just be.
Yeah, you want to make a dragon or a spaceship or whatever. It's yours to make.
Yeah,
or make a giant teddy bear, whatever it is.
Right.
As long as you got the Legos, we'll make it. Well, what's the date on that again?
That's on April 2nd, Saturday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Very good. If someone tells you the first, they're pulling your leg.
Nah.
Very good.
Okay, and then on the following Saturday, April 9th, we're going to be watching the movie The Croods, and that's at 2 p.m.
Okay, that's the animated, the cave, the family of cavemen, cave people. I don't know what you would call it. But I got you. Okay.
And we'll have free popcorn there, like always.
That's a Disney Pixar, isn't it? Is that one of the Disney?
It's not Disney.
It's not Disney? Okay, I couldn't remember. I don't have kids, so I'm not sure.
DreamWorks, maybe.
That's a DreamWorks, okay. I don't know. They're all the same in my head.
Pretty much.
But it's a fun family movie. So.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yeah.
My grandsons and I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good one." They were making
again, I'm at that. I don't have kids, so it's kind of creepy if I'm one watching those now at this point.
with the popcorn.
Yeah. It's like, there's no kid in this room. Why do you have the curds on? Don't worry about it.
Research.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. But very cool. So come out and bring the family, enjoy a movie. Like I said, y'all do the free popcorn and everything. You kind of sit down and make a little family fun event for you guys to get out and do your plans. So good deal. What else do we want to make sure we let?
And then on the 16th, the following Saturday after that, at 11 a.m., we have board games. And we just put board games out, and we have parents that come in, and they might just not even realize it's board game Saturday. They'll just come to pick
do
out
whatever
books.
they were to do, yeah.
And then they see that, and they go in, and they play games with their kids for a couple of, 30 minutes, and then they go check out their items.
Well, imagine it's also cool, too, because now you can kind of, like, if parents are always thinking, like, at home, we need to have some games and things for the kids to do, but you're never really sure when you're buying them, like, which ones they'll embrace and things.
Right.
Use this as a test drive and come and let them play some of the board games that are available there. And if they kind of gravitate towards one, make sure you pick up games and games like it for your own home and for your own family game nights and things like that.
Yes.
So use that as something, because board games is one of those things where it's a technology that we grew up with and knew, and now a lot of that's gone digital. So you're like, hey kids, this is it's like solitaire. Is there a kid that knows how to actually play solitaire with a deck of cards anymore?
No,
do you think there's anybody? Yeah, my grandmother faithfully in the back kitchen, but all the rest of us are sitting on the computer doing it. It's like I don't even know how to set it up. What's the picture on the thing looking? You know what I mean? So, but games like Clue and Monopoly and all that. They were all done on actual board games before computers. So.
Well, that's like making a paper airplane.
Yeah.
Kids don't know how to make paper airplanes. I'm like that. Like to me, it was just something I knew.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where.
I remember I had me and two friends, and this is when I was little, like maybe 6, 7. That was our day. We'd literally, they would, you know how you used to get the old Sears or JCPenney catalog?
Right.
And like the Christmas one, it'd be,
and put them under the sofa.
Literally, they'd take the old one, and then that was our paper. And so we'd sit on the front porch, they'd rip out a piece of paper, and all right, here's a plane. And I don't know how many paper airplanes were stuck up on the roof of my neighbor's house. Like we have a windstorm, they just all soaking messes on the But yeah, we literally spent days just making paper airplanes. And I had one friend that was like the good one. Like I can make the one that looks like the plane that everybody looks at. Right. This guy can make the ones that look like bats, or you know what I mean? It's like, they don't even look like planes anymore. They just look like these weird flying contraptions. He can make all those with paper, and so he kind of led the way, and we all just. Did he ever show me? Of course not. Well, he probably tried. I'm too stupid to
You weren't patient enough to pay attention.
I want to play planes, man. I don't want to sit there and hold. Anyway, but yeah, you're right. That was stuff we did. So bring a little of that nostalgia with board game night.
Yes.
Come out and come and pick your games. And like I said, you guys got a selection of games, probably most of the ones that everyone knows and loves, and they go there. And then maybe use that as to spawn or start your own game nights with your families and say, hey, that was fun. Let's go get our own game of Clue or whatever, and do that ourselves, or the game of life, or Monopoly,
or pick up sticks.
Yeah,
something simple, or break the ice. This the easy ones.
Just remember, if you buy the game Risk, prepare to lose a week of your life.
I'm telling you.
And and maybe an argument or two. I'm just saying. Be careful with that one. That one starts wars, literally. Good deal. What else do we want to promote, or we get it all?
Well, I just wanted to say the one thing left I want to say is that this second week in April, we're supposed to have our Play and Learn Center installed. And so we're going to have in the children's area. Yeah, we're going to have it in the children's area, like a big boat for them to play on.
Okay.
It's
a
really
car.
cool.
Oh, wow.
And they can sit in it.
Oh, cool.
And then in the Malone room, we're going to have a truck. And it's like little interactives on it.
Oh, cool.
So that's
kind of like
supposedly it's supposed to be, cross fingers, the second week in April. It will be installed.
Right. So knock on the wood, cross the fingers, do a rain, not a rain dance, but a delivery dance.
Don't do that.
Well, we could use the rain, maybe just not for that day. So slow up the thing. But yeah, that'll be cool. I love to see you see that when it's in ready and going, and we'll have to when you guys are obviously when it's up and running, we'll be back and. Maybe we can bring some pictures and stuff to show people.
I will definitely bring pictures if it's up and show it to you. And yes, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds like I'm going to be fighting kids to kick them out of this thing because I'm going to be playing it. Like that guy at the mall that throws them out of the quarter thing and I sit on the horse. Yeah, that'll be it. But it does sound pretty cool there. So look for that, hopefully.
Yeah.
Here in a few weeks.
They promised the
mid-April.
second week, so I'm thinking it'll probably take a couple of days to finish installing.
Sure. Yeah, I imagine once it's here, they got to set it up. And,
Right.
you know, it sounds like that's not just something you say, here you go. It takes a little bit of integration into what you guys have. And all
Right.
that. So very cool.
Yeah.
But look for it coming soon.
Yes, this month, hopefully.
Good deal. Matter of fact, go check out some books today. And by the time they're due, they should be ready.
There you go. You can come over. You can come over and check to see if it's up.
Yeah,
Oh, you
by the
return
time
it.
you go to return your books, you can see if it's ready there.
Yeah,
So
that's about right.
about 2 weeks, yeah. So you about give or take a day or two here. But go this weekend, check out some books, and when you got to return them, they should be there.
Yeah,
that's right.
I like that. That's a good way to measure it. Of course, a great way to stay up to date is follow and like the Roswell Public Library. If you are an Instagram or Facebook user, those are the two main platforms that the library uses. I encourage you to like and follow those. That way you can stay up to date, and every time events like this happen, you're one of the first to know because it comes right up on there too. If you like the old-fashioned way, which I kind of dig a little bit, you can always come by the front desk at the beginning of each month and pick up a new monthly calendar.
Yes.
And that one's got all the events that are happening for really the next 2 months, isn't it? It's got 2 months on there, or is it just the 1
We
month?
just have like what's coming up in the following month, but
Gotcha.
it's
So
not.
it's like a preview of next month.
Right.
Gotcha. So you can put that up on the refrigerator, and so that way you know what days the story times are, what days Lego night is, and so you don't accidentally miss them because life happens sometimes. You got there is a reminder. So, and of course you can always call the library and ask if you have any questions about anything we talked about here or anything we didn't talk about here that you need help with the library to take care of. If you're asking about membership or asking about services and things like that, there's a whole bevy of online services that are available to you through the library, tutoring to music and other periodicals, other cool things that you wouldn't think that's a really part of a library. All that's available to you as a member of the library with your card in good standing. And in theory, I say this all the time, in theory, you could utilize the library and never set foot in the library. Don't recommend that, but you could. And all of that's free of charge. So take advantage of all this stuff just by getting a card and coming in. If you're a family with kids and everything, library should be on your speed dial. That's an old way of saying quick connect for you young folks.
Speed dial?
Say what?
But keep it in the front burner there. So because to be honest, whenever you're having a pickle for what's to do with the family, library's probably got you covered. If you
pretty much every day
if you have that information handy to you. So keep that available, and all of it is better. Like I'm telling you this, when we talk about these stories, I'm not joking about that. Bring those kids, the Spanish, whatever. I don't care what they're talking about or what language it's in. Bring your kid to it and put your kid in front of it and let them absorb that stuff. That's all, because I kind of wish I happened to me, because now I took 3 years of Spanish in high school and I still stink at it. I'm thinking if I maybe had exposure as a kid, that would have sunk in a little bit better, or doesn't sound so foreign to me, because that's part of the problem is you got to almost change your mindset on certain ways you conjugate things so it doesn't. But if you're learning as a kid all at once, it kind of seamlessly flows, and it's more logical to you because you've been exposed to it a lot longer. So. Anyway, I got soapboxy again, but I'm serious. These are the kind of things you could really do to give your kid a leg up, your family a leg up, and it's all right there for you free of charge. All you have to do is go out and get it. That's really all we're doing here. So please, utilize it. There's a lot of things going on in the world, a lot of problems, a lot of busy things, but there are things you can do to positively impact that, and this is one of them. So go do it.
Exactly.
Excellent. Is there anything we missed after that?
No, sir. You can come down off the soapbox now. Let me help you then.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to get people to do these things because they're there, and I hear it all the time. Well, it's not near. Like there is. You're just sitting here complaining about it. There's a whole lot going on.
Oh yes.
Get knowledgeable. Be proactive about this stuff and go seek it rather than sit there and complain that it doesn't exist. and go find it or go make your own.
Right.
Is there something missing? Talk to the library.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How many times, people, you should, all right, come, how many times have you guys had done programs or things?
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I think Peggy, half the STEM stuff probably, because Peggy went there and said, I want to do STEM, here's how we do it,
Right.
If you have a passion like that too, the library would love to, partner with you to help do some of that kind of stuff. That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Yeah. Good deal. And of course, if you have questions, Tiffany, you can always go to the city's website. There's a Roswell, roswell-nm.gov, and there's a tab for the library, or there's a direct link.
Right.
Or if you don't remember any of that, just Google Roswell NM Public Library.
Yeah, don't do Georgia.
You just want to learn about the Georgia Library. I'm sure it's nice too.
I'm sure it is.
Not as nice as ours.
Probably not, but they don't have aliens.
That's right.
Back to the aliens.
Well, I'm sure they're so sick of it, because they get at least a couple calls a week asking alien-related things, thinking they're talking to us.
Oh, yeah.
A lot more of that happening to them than probably us getting Georgia calls on things.
Right.
That'd be my hunch. So it's probably a 4-letter. Roswell, New Mexico might be a 4-letter word to some of those folks over there.
Maybe.
We'll just be nice. So very good. Well, thank you guys.
Sure. Thank you.
Have a great weekend. And tune in Monday, because it's going to be the Peggy Bolin Show, I'm understanding. Peggy's actually going to be back on Monday, just so happened to work out talking camp invention, speaking of STEM, which, by the way, go to invent.org. We'll tune in Monday to learn more about it, but over the weekend here, if you want an opportunity for your elementary age and even middle school with the LIT program, this summer there's a week in June here with Camp Invention that's going to be happening again. We'll talk more about it Monday, but kids, again, this is an opportunity for kids to really have fun in a group setting, learn actual STEM and science and all in a fun way. It's going to be so much fun this
year.
And it's going to be great. But tune in Monday. Peggy's going to talk more about that. But go to invent.org/camp. And you can learn more about it, sign up here, and then tune in Monday as we talk more of the details and stuff.
Exactly.
But one of her passions is STEM, and she does it at the library, she does it Camp Invention, and just about any place that'll let you do it, I think.
Just don't stop.
She's at the McDonald's just like, hey. Can I borrow your French fries? Thank you, guys.
All right,
appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, it is 9:50. Let's pause for local news, Hannity update, quick break as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Country music group Midland will bring its music to southeast New Mexico as the headliner concert for this year's UFO Festival. The all-ages concert will take place Saturday night, July 2nd. Gates will open at 5, with the opening acts to begin at 5:30 p.m. Midland is scheduled to take the stage about 8:30. Tickets will be $15 general admission or $100 for a VIP front row table. More details online at ufofestival.com. A federal judge this week convicted an elected official from New Mexico for illegally entering restricted U.S. Capitol grounds, but acquitted him of engaging in disorderly conduct during the riot that disrupted Congress from certifying Joe Biden's presidential election victory. U.S. District Court Judge Trevor McFadden heard a day of testimony without a jury Monday before handing down a verdict in the misdemeanor case against Otero County Commissioner Couy Griffin, a 48-year-old former rodeo rider who helped found a group called Cowboys for Trump. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Your morning espresso starts right here. It's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
If you want to stop Putin and you want to stop the territorial ambitions of Vladimir Putin right now, the best thing you can do is supply the Ukrainians with the weaponry that they're asking for, begging for, pleading for, because they've been really effective in using the equipment they're getting from Europe and the United States, specifically drones, specifically javelins, specifically Stinger missiles. And Joe, next time Poland wants to give him MiGs, shut up and get out of the way. And if they have some cockamamie scheme, your pilots have to fly. No, just leave the keys in the plane and let Ukrainian fighter pilots take it out themselves and say, oops, I have no idea how it happened. That's the answer.
The Sean Hannity Show from coast to coast later today.
Figure is different from all other refinancing that I've experienced. Hi, I'm Chaz Ryan, and I use Figure for a home equity line of credit. I found Figure, and it was a very easy application to make. My loan was funded within 7 to 10 days.
Join Chaz and the 50,000 other happy customers. Figure out your finances at Figure.com. Figure Lending, LLC. Equal Opportunity Lender. NMLS 1717824. Terms and conditions apply. Visit Figure.com for more information.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty nice for the weekend, and our daytime highs will be on a warming trend. Very warm on Sunday with high pressure parked in the Four Corners. Lots of sunshine today, and our afternoon high in the low 80s and not too windy. It'll be clear for the overnight hours. We'll drop to about 40, and then we're looking at mid 80s and sunshine on Saturday, upper 80s, and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. We've got some scores from the Rio Rancho Sal Puentes baseball tournament, one involving a local team. That's the Goddard Rockets. They faced Valley and lost to the Vikings 8-2 on Thursday to start the tournament. Valley is 8-6. Goddard's now 3-7. They'll play again today. The Sertoma Colt Classics going on, hosted by NMMI, and the host school had no problems with Tularosa on Thursday to start things off. The Colts beat Thule 9-0. NMMI is now 8-0 on the season. They'll take on Santa Rosa tonight at 6:30. That same tournament, Dexter lost to Capitan 6-2. The Demons still seeking their first victory of the season. And we'll wrap it all up for you on Monday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Geopolitical concerns, Ukraine war chief among them, continue to weigh on Wall Street, although the benchmarks did open higher this morning, the S&P on track for a second weekly gain. The EU has set the stage for a crackdown on big tech companies with an agreement on landmark digital rules.
With those rules, the bloc is seeking to prevent tech giants like Google, Meta, and Apple from dominating digital markets. It represents a change from its previous practice of issuing big fines for past antitrust violations. The provisional agreement now needs to be endorsed by the European Parliament and the Council.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says new forms of digital money like cryptocurrencies present risks to the U.S. financial system and will require new rules to protect consumers. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
At LeGrand Funeral Chapel, we believe that every funeral should be a reflection of the life it honors. The joys, the triumphs, the faith, the family, and so much more. For us, no detail is too small, no request too big. This is Rosa Aguilar. When the time comes to choose a funeral home, we hope you'll let us serve your family. At LeGrand Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
Score a slam dunk during the March Mania savings event at Roswell Honda with a great lineup of vehicles you can't miss. Like a 2018 Kia Optima for just $279 a month, a 2011 Honda Pilot for just $249 a month, or a 2016 Audi A3 for just $219 a month. Get a 12-pack just for stopping by, a basketball with a test drive, and a Big 5 gift card with purchase. Score big during the Slam Dunk savings event at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd. Or shop online 24/7 and see what's waiting for you at RoswellHonda.com.
Finally, a return to normal prom season.
And Roswell's most unique boutique has something special for you early birdies with the Hippie Chicks Early Bird Tux Rental Drawing. Simply rent your tux by April 1st and you'll be entered into an exclusive drawing for a $100 Peppers gift card. And with lots of styles to choose from, you can't lose. Open Monday through Saturday at 10 a.m. at 802 South Main in Roswell. Look for the lime green VW Bug or call 575-627-3868. And find Shop Hippie Chicks on Facebook to see it all. Hippie Chicks, Roswell's prom powerhouse.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. It's considered good luck in Japan when a sumo wrestler makes your baby cry. But who gets the good luck? The sumo wrestler or the baby? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:57. Got about 2.5 minutes here before they make us scarce on the radio. Of course, if you missed any part of our show today, check it out at your leisure, ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, or Mornings con Mike Winters.
Con.
For you Espanol speaking fans. That's all I got, con.
I think the big takeaway, though, is Sean Smalls 929. That's SMALLS 929 on TikTok.
Yeah.
Go find it.
Yeah, go
Make
find
it your
that.
friend.
What have you added anything recently?
Actually, I just did a How Hot Are You challenge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, apparently I'm hot. I think it's broken.
Oh.
Yeah, I told him it was like 90 something. I was like, it's
like 70 in here. It's
broken.
A little warm.
It is.
So.
It is a little steamy, you know.
Oh man! So things we learned today: chocolate hummus, good.
Very good. Chocolate hummus on hash browns, not so good.
No, it's not revolting. No, like it won't kill you.
I'm not gonna kick you out of bed,
but it's better on the pretzels.
Way better on the pretzels.
Mm-hmm.
That is. I think. Yeah, you just unlocked something.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that thing was.
It's like when they discovered what umami was, like that different flavor, like part of the tongue. Mm-hmm. You just discovered a new flavor.
Yep, I'm the Ponce de Leon of hummus.
That's right. That's right. You're exploring the boundaries of flavor.
That's right.
Oh, and
where's my hat?
Marlboro Miles Adventure.
Bad.
Bad.
We learned that lesson too.
Also learned.
Ponce de la hummus.
Ponce de la hummus. I like it. And big thanks to McDonald's, by the way.
Absolutely. Swing on by any of your 3 McDonald's, including the brand new, sweetest smelling South Main McDonald's. Now open for your McDonald's needs.
Indeed.
Yeah. By the way, still on my fish sandwich kick. I've had like 3 of them in the last week.
I think I'm going to hit up Mickey D's today, get the 2 for $6 fillets. I think I'm digging that.
I probably end up to. I need to do something else because I can't just eat fish sandwiches all day.
It's Friday and it's the Lenten season, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Do the right thing. You're Episcopalian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, do the right thing.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Fish on a Friday. Okay?
All right.
Good boy.
I've already had hummus. How's that?
There's no meat in hummus. There's no crying in baseball.
That's right. I'm trying to think if I had meat yet. I don't think I have.
No, you're good.
All right.
Be a good pescatarian Episcopalian.
All right. We got